Today from Fenway, the Red Sox wrap up what has been a highly successful homestand. 5-1 heading into the finale with Houston and flying high after the most thrilling Sox win of the season yesterday. Hi, everybody. Great day at Fenway Park. Great to have you with us. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner, Jerry Remy, and Garen Austin joins us in just a moment. And, Jerry, yesterday, David Ortiz struck again, and you had to like his chances of driving in somebody because it seems like every other guy in the lineup has a pretty long hitting streak going.
Well, certainly. And, you know, David Ortiz has today off because of what he did yesterday. And is a little bit fatigued today with Red Sox going on the road trip, so he's got the beginning of the game off. But John Farrell doesn't mind doing that to save his legs over the course of a long season, and he can do it now because so many other guys in the lineup are swinging the bat very well, led by Jackie Bradley Jr. with the 20-game hitting streak of 416, 26 RBIs to that streak. Bogart's on a 9-game streak at 419. You see Mookie Betts also on a streak. He's got 9 RBIs during this hitting streak that he's on. Hanley on a 6-game streak at 435. And Travis Shaw, 500, 11 for 22 on his streak. So, you know, it's not as tough to come to the lineup to leave David out of the lineup when you've got everybody else swinging the bat the way they have. Now, if needed, David will be back in the lineup in a clutch pinch hit situation if needed later in the game.
You said clutch, and we were all saying that again once again yesterday around Big Papi. A tremendous moment here at Fenway Park. Well, the Red Sox as a team are hitting .370 on this homestand, looking to win the series today and head to Kansas City for 3. Join us for the first pitch coming up on NESN. Back at Fenway, and the Red Sox wrapping up the homestand. And Altuve digging in here. George Springer and Carlos Correa will follow. Again, Sean O'Sullivan, who goes in 1-0 with a .643 earned run average, and the first pitch in there for strike one, and we're underway. Altuve has hit safely in 7 in a row, and he's a real pain in the neck to try and keep off base. He was on base 5 times yesterday. Toward the alley, but here comes Jackie Bradley, and he's right there to put that away. Junior announcer days, we get the Astro lineup from Sean, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
Thanks, Mr. O'Brien. Here's today's Astros lineup. Leading at second base, Jose Altuve. In right field, George Springer. The shortstop, Carlos Correa. In left field, field, Colby Rasmus. At first base, Tyler White. At third, Luis Valbuena. In center field, Carlos Gomez. The DH, Preston Tucker. The catcher, Jason Castro.
Sean, great work. Thank you, my man. Springer, the batter, hitting .264, 9 home runs. He was 1 for 6 yesterday, but that one was a grand slam. One man away, and a pop-up down the right field line. Shaw giving chase. Mookie Betts coming on. Some play there by Mookie in a dead sprint.
What an incredible play here by Mookie Betts. A terrific jump. He's fighting the sun. He's fighting the wind that's blowing it back toward him. And he's able to make the catch going against the wall, close the glove, and hold on to the baseball. On that point, the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. First in the league, 14 errors, 37 games. Rutledge, Bogarts, Pedroia, Shaw in the infield, Holt, Bradley Jr., Betts in the outfield, and Hannigan doing the catching for O'Sullivan.
And not a bad start for O'Sullivan getting a play like that. Here's Carlos Correa. He's a .275 hitter with 6 home runs and homered yesterday. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by New England Audi dealers. O'Sullivan 1-0. He got 13 runs of support on Tuesday night, and it would be a real gift if he can go deep into this one following a lot of use by the bullpen yesterday.
Now, one thing we saw is a lot of cut fastballs from O'Sullivan in that first start. He's made an appearance against the Yankees out of the bullpen in that first start coming against Oakland.
6-1, about 245, and that one slapped foul. Sean made his first start as a member of the Red Sox 5 days ago. He got the win over the Oakland A's. He went 6. He was shutting out the A's through 5, but then he gave up 4 runs in the 6th inning, and he came out of the game and wound up with the W. Colby Rasmus on deck. And the 2-2 on the way to Carlos Correa. Well, Sullivan did allow 12 hits, although he did not walk a batter, so you see a lot of strikes from him.
Well, that's one thing he's known for, Dave, the fact that he's around the strike zone. That's one of the things the Red Sox like about him. Doesn't walk many people at all.
2-2 just off the outside corner.
Some conditions to watch out for today. Obviously the sun, as we saw that come into effect yesterday in the ball game, and the wind really howling out toward the bullpen area today.
3-2 pitch. Spoiled as he fouled it away. Today's umpires are brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. That's the crew chief, Joe West, behind the plate. Kerwin Danley at first, Andy Fletcher at second, Toby Basner at third. And look at our weather forecast. A lot of sunshine, 60 degrees, but as Jerry mentioned, 23 miles an hour out to right. And gusting at times even harder than that. And that is in there for strike 3. Correa had put the bat down. He was about to walk to first base. So a fast start for O'Sullivan. Here come the Red Sox. Betts, Pedroia, and Bogarts. They do today against the right-hander Chris Davinsky. He is 0-2, but with a 172 earned run average. He's a rookie, and they like him a lot. He throws strikes. 25-year-old out of Cerritos, California. Here's Mookie Betts going after him right away. Strike one.
Second time, the third time the Red Sox have seen Davinsky. They saw him out of the bullpen twice in that series down at Houston. Fought 5 in the third inning, 7 hits allowed, no runs, and had 3 strikeouts against Boston.
0-2 on Mookie Betts, hitting .256, 6 home runs, 26 driven in.
Pretty good fastball, 94 miles an hour. Also has a very good changeup.
Yeah, he'll throw that at any count. The Red Sox have hit 25 homers and scored 93 runs this month. That already surpasses the totals from last May with 15 games to go. Sox are 9-4 in May. 2-2.
There's the changeup right there. Goes to it on the 1-2 count, but throws it away from Mookie Betts.
A.J. Hinch, their manager, turned 42 years old today. Pop toward right, drifting toward the stands. 2-2 on Mookie. Dustin Pedroia on deck. And A.J. Hinch celebrating his birthday and realizing the gift is no David Ortiz in the lineup today.
At least for the start of the game.
Decided to pitch to him. Here's the 2-2. And a little high. Mookie's hit safely in 6 straight games. Dustin Pedroia back in there today. And that is outside. He walks him. Well, it's Junior Announcer Day. We get the Red Sox lineup from Catherine. It's brought to you by BuyAToyota.com.
Thanks, Mr. O'Brien. Here is today's Red Sox lineups. Leading off from right field, Mookie Betts. At second base, Dustin Pedroia. The shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. At first base, Travis Shaw. The DH, Hanley Ramirez. In center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. At third base, Josh Rutledge. At the left field, Brock Holt. The catcher, Ryan Hannigan.
I love that smile from Catherine. What a great job. Dustin Pedroia taking one outside. Petey hitting .301, 6 homers, and 20 runs batted in.
It's just like she was happy to get through the lineup without making a mistake.
She did an amazing job. Mookie Betts aboard. He's 7 for 7 in steals. Not running, and a fastball will miss. Sox are 5-1 on the homestand, which ends today. On to Kansas City for 3, then back home on Friday against Cleveland and then Colorado. Red Sox have won 11 of the last 15. The 3-0 taking all the way, and that's a strike.
Taking a little bit off that fastball to get a strike. 92 miles an hour from Davinsky.
Bogaerts would hit next. Here comes the 3-1. The runner goes and fouled away.
A wide open hole between first and second. They had Altuve covering the bag, and it was a fastball away to Pedroia. Looks like he was shooting in that direction. Mookie off at first base. Altuve goes to cover, and Pedroia looking for that hole but fouls it off.
So 3-2 on Pedroia, who only played yesterday as a pinch hitter. The runner goes, and that is outside. So he's walked back-to-back hitters to start the afternoon.
The Astros defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are 10th in the American League, 21 errors in 38 games. Luis Valbuena at third base, Carlos Correa the shortstop, Jose Altuve at second, Tyler White the first baseman. Left to right, Colby Rasmus, Carlos Gomez, George Springer, and Juan Castro doing the catching.
So setting up for a potential big inning once again in the first. Here's Xander Bogaerts, 340 with 3 home runs. His single with 2 outs in the 11th yesterday didn't get nearly enough play. The day belonged to David Ortiz, of course, but it led to the game-winning run, which he scored, and that's in there for a strike. He had been wild pitched to second base. A.J. Hinch and Michael Feliz elected not to put David Ortiz on base. Feliz had the 2 strikes on Big Papi. Hinch violating the Cardinal rule. You do not pitch to David Ortiz with the winning run on second base and first base open. And he paid the price. Diving back in, Mookie Betts.
Now we've watched Pedroia do this a number of times, and that's exactly what Altuve is doing right now. Because of the speed at second base, and Betts, look at him, he's holding him on like a first baseman. We're seeing more and more of that. And they tried to pick off attempt, but not quite in time. Same thing this time.
The 0-1 showing bunt, and it's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Couple of conversations already. Valbuena came in. Now Altuve comes in to have a chat with Davinsky. And back to that position of holding on Mookie Betts at second base. From there, you've really got to hustle to get into your fielding position. You don't want to leave a vacant hole, especially with Bogaerts, who goes in that direction.
Xander with 52 hits through 37 games. As that is outside. On pace for well over 200 hits. Time now to see who's driving the ball, presented by Toyo Tires. Xander in May hitting .417 with 9 RBIs. Toyo, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Travis Shaw on deck. Nobody out. Line to right field. Springer backs up, makes the play. Back to tag up is Betts. He'll advance into third easily standing.
Good job by Bogaerts. You know, you hope for more. You hope for the base hit to drive in the run. But if you're going to make an out, especially on the first out of the inning, go the other way. Get the runner to the third base with less than 2 outs. Pitch on the outside part of the plate. Bogaerts hits it hard on a line. But Springer only has to go back a couple of steps, but he does get Mookie Betts to third base now.
So the Red Sox on the corners for Travis Shaw, who will step in hitting .328, 5 homers, 26 runs batted in. One man away. And across for a strike. David Ortiz got the Gatorade bath yesterday. Jackie Bradley and Xander Bogaerts have also gotten those on this homestand. But the surprise yesterday was the white powder spray at second base that got Big Papi. That was Flower from the clubhouse, incidentally. And it was Joe Kelly who let it fly. Somebody thought maybe rosin or something else, but that would have been a little dangerous.
That's the first time I've seen that, and I didn't know what it was at the beginning, but yes, Flower. And I think it surprised Ortiz.
Pedroia goes. Here's the throw, and it's off into center field, and a run is in. Betts will score. Pedroia up and running. He's into third, and the Red Sox have the lead here in the first inning on a throwing mistake by Castro.
I love the aggressiveness by the Red Sox. First of all, you can get a big jump on Davinsky. He takes a long time to get the ball home. It's no contest at second base, and on top of that, you get the bad throw by Castro. So Mookie Betts is able to come in and score, and he knew as soon as he let that go, it was going to be a bad throw. Infield comes in.
Should be a stolen base and an E2. Runner at third, 1-0 Red Sox, and that one floated foul.
See, we talk about the Red Sox and their percentage of stealing bases, which is very, very high, and they just pick the right people to go against, the right combinations.
So Torey Lovullo talking things over with Mookie Betts there, who just scored. And the 1-1. Little looper foul. I think that flower shower could become a new thing.
I think that's going to be, well, I think it's going to be more than that. Joe Kelly, I think, has got a few surprises up his sleeve.
You do?
Yes.
Love to know what those are.
So would I. We'll probably hope we see one today.
1-2. Inside again, and he fought that off on the fastball.
I've never seen that before. That's a good one.
Great for celebrating or baking. How about Joe Kelly? Predicting that was going to happen. So he runs up to the clubhouse kitchen there and grabs some flour. Now I know what people are saying. Well, it's David Ortiz. It's not that difficult to predict that, but to have it ready to go is impressive.
Well, you never know when you're going to strike, right? So get everything ready just in case for that perfect moment.
This team's having a lot of fun with each other. The 0-2. Well, he's running everything inside on the thumbs.
That's a good job there by fouling that pitch off by Travis Shaw. You don't want to take that, give the umpire a chance to ring you up. And it's a tough pitch to handle, but he's able to foul it off. Fastball inside part of the plate, just off the inside corner.
Pedroia at third base. Red Sox grabbing a quick lead. Trying to add on another here. Shaw can bring in this run with a fly ball. He waves and misses. That one really darted down and away. That was that good changeup to get him, and they're 2 away.
Yeah, that's the best one he's featured so far today. After coming inside with the fastball, he goes back away. And look at the movement on this changeup. Off speed and moving away from Travis Shaw. Very difficult to pick up.
We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory back Toyota certified used vehicle right now. It's good to know the factory has your back. And here's Hanley hitting .309, 4 homers, 22 runs batted in. 1 for 5 yesterday. He went for the downs there.
It's a nice mix that Davinsky has. That fastball 94, 95, and then that very good changeup. Also the curveball mixed in, a hard curveball.
2 men out. Here comes the 0-1 from Davinsky. Line shot fair down the line, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0. Should be extra bases for Hanley. Rasmus has a little trouble with it on that side track. Man, did he sting that for his 23rd RBI. Red Sox up 2-0.
Well, we talked about the changeup. It's not good when it stays up in the zone and inside to a right-handed hitter. And that time Hanley jumped all over the line shot right down the third base line. Red Sox pick up another run. It's all about location, and the location of that changeup was not good.
Jackie Bradley looks to keep it rolling here. Hottest hitter in the majors right now, the 20-game hitting streak. He's driven in 26 runs during the hitting streak, and he pops that one foul. 26. He's part of this run in today's lineup of 6 consecutive Red Sox hitters who are batting over 300. So another quick start for Boston. Dropped by Castro, and Hanley will stay at second.
It's interesting. Watch that changeup from Davinsky. It's got a little tumbling effect to it as he gets to home plate, if he throws it properly.
We started the day by walking the first 2 men. This one popped up. The catcher and the third baseman converging, and now the pitcher in the play. He makes the catch. Davinsky. Red Sox get 2 right out of the chute, lead it 2-0. Power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you from Fenway. Red Sox with a 2-0 lead after the first inning on getaway day. So a little support for Sean O'Sullivan, who has pitched for the Angels, Kansas City, San Diego, and the Phillies over the course of an 11-year professional career. Rasmus pops that one foul out of play.
Well, that's a good example right there, too, for Josh Rutledge at third base. Don't give up on anything hitting that direction high, because the wind, the way it's blowing this afternoon, could blow it right back into the field of play. That ball came back about 5 or 6 rows in foul territory, and that's something he's taking note of now.
I think the pop up by Jackie Bradley came back, so the pitcher had to make the play. Rasmus likes to indicate bunt, but he didn't go after it.
A little surprising, too, because he is trying to bunt down the third base line even when Rutledge was in on him, even with the grass.
Rasmus only hitting .232. He was 2 for 5 yesterday. Back to the hill, right through O'Sullivan. Here's Bogaerts to throw it away. That one right up against the railing, and now Rasmus is taken off for second. Here's the throw, and that's off into left field. Red Sox throwing it around here as Hope will scoop it up, and Rasmus is safely into second base.
That's probably going to go as a base hit and an error on Bogaerts, I would think. The ball gets by O'Sullivan. Once it does that, Bogaerts has to barehand the ball, and it's not going to be a very good throw to first base. Shaw tracks it down. There was nobody covering third base for the Red Sox, and Rasmus taking note of that, but somebody did quickly get over to cover the bag, but initially there was nobody at third base because the Red Sox were at a shift.
2 errors on that play, one of them on O'Sullivan. That looked like a play he could have made, and certainly Bogaerts throwing that one away. So 2 errors, an E1 and an E6. And brings up Tyler White, hitting .231 with 5 home runs. So a man in the scoring position, and it's fouled away. I believe that is Xander's first error of the season.
It is. And not a normal play at all for the Red Sox shortstop, coming in from the shift side and had to barehand the ball and quickly trying to get it to first base.
We're talking about the 15th of May, writing in a shortstop's first error. Here comes the 0-1. The Orioles and the Tigers are underway. They're tied up 1-1 in the first inning at Camden Yards. As we keep an eye on Baltimore, they've won 7 in a row. 1-game lead over the Red Sox. It's a very hot Baltimore team. White takes the ball. He entered yesterday's game as pinch hitter, and he was intentionally walked. That was a fascinating baseball game yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a long game, but certainly worth the wait, the way it ended for the Red Sox. But a lot going on in that game. It was a fun game to broadcast.
A lot of different strategies to discuss. Some mistakes made. Certainly looked like the Astros were looking for a squeeze play at one point in the game, and they botched that. Helped the Red Sox cause there.
A lot of small things in the middle of the big things yesterday in that game. That was an entertaining game for the fans.
And they really hung in there. I mean, big crowd of over 37,000 and hardly anybody left. 3-1 is poked foul. Take a look at Brian Butterfield here, and that's his card. It's been whipping right by.
Yeah, and notice the attention to detail on getting that back. That's very important information that you don't want flying into the stands. That's what the wind's doing here this afternoon.
The 3-2 pitch to White with a runner at second base, nobody out. And he takes downstairs for ball 4. So a rocky start to this inning with the errors and now the walk. Tuesday, May 24th is David Ortiz canvas night at Fenway Park. First 15,000 fans receive a David Ortiz commemorative canvas print courtesy of Enios. For tickets and more information, visit redsox.com/promos or call 877-RED-SOX-9. Sox ahead 2-0, but here's a home run threat in Luis Valbuena, even though he only has the 1, and he's hitting 198. He did hit 25 last season. That's a strike.
Curveball that time. First curveball we've seen featured by O'Sullivan today. He's used the cutter. He's used his fastball. He's used his slider. This time the curveball to get ahead in the count. 0-1.
Rasmus at second, White at first. O'Sullivan trying to get a ground ball out of Valbuena right at somebody. Instead of high deep drive to right field. Betts will turn and watch it sail, and that is gone. Way gone. Up and over the bullpen. That's a 3-run homer. Just like that, the Red Sox lead is gone. It is 3-2 Houston. His second home run of the season.
Now Valbuena, you mentioned it, has home run power. It hasn't been a quick start for him this season, but he gets a fastball right there, right down the middle of the plate, and just about belt high and hooks it up into that wind. And that once it gets up in that wind, it just really carries. I mean, it would have been a home run anyway, but he got a little extra distance on it. And he knew it.
Yeah, he did.
Right out of contact, he knew it.
Astros up 3-2, and here's Gomez. That's a strike. Strike called. Hitting 186. No homers, 5 runs batted in. Really tough start for him. But he has seen Sean O'Sullivan before, and he's 3 for 6 off him. Nobody out, and that's up high. This is an Astro team that got off to a bad start. And of course the Red Sox took 2 out of 3 against them in Houston, but they've played better in May. That one fouled out of play. Last year they spent 139 days in first place and they won a wild card spot. And they were the talk of the town in Houston. And when we were there in April and they were losing, the fans were very frustrated. They expected another big push into first place this season. Doesn't always happen that way. Got off to a rocky start.
Well, we talked about this on Friday night, the fact that you know, you don't surprise people after you play as well as you did last year. I mean, teams are ready for you. I mean, last year they were a little bit of a surprise, and not to take anything away from them. They played great baseball.
2-2 up and in. Well, they really did. They get tremendous pitching from Keuchel and McHugh. Their bullpen. Correa came on like gangbusters. Not that far out of high school, and he became the Rookie of the Year. Everybody knows them now. And that one is down low, and he just missed with it. So that's the second walk in the inning by O'Sullivan, and he's not going to be able to survive today or against any lineup if he walks a lot of people.
And that's something he doesn't do, but he has 2 walks in this inning. And of course, following his first walk was that 3-run home run.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Steve Lyons will break it all down. You'll also hear from Sean O'Sullivan and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason. So the Red Sox committing a pair of errors on one play, and now O'Sullivan has walked his second man. Valbuena torching a 3-run homer. And now with Gomez aboard, the batter will be the DH Preston Tucker, hitting just 185.
Red Sox go into the shift on Tucker. 3 men on the right side. Only Rutledge left at that shortstop position where he's in close, about even with the bag. Here's Bogaerts on the right side of the infield.
And a pitch to Tucker upstairs.
Gomez at first base. He'll run. I mean, he's got 4 steals on the season. He's been caught a couple of times, but he will certainly take a chance.
O'Sullivan working with Hannigan today. He goes sprawling back in.
The other thing about Gomez, you know, when you haven't been on base a lot, and he hasn't been because he's only hitting 186. Once you get on there and you're a base stealer, you want to go. You haven't done it very much.
Certainly his style holding here. And another one high. So O'Sullivan is scuffling in this inning. He's committed an error. He's walked 2. He's allowed the long homer. And now Rutledge will move way over on the right side of the diamond.
Yeah, they're not expecting a bunt anymore out of Tucker. So they make the switch defensively.
The 2-0 pitch, runner goes. It's a strike. Here's the throw, and they're not going to get him. So as you predicted, Jerry, he wanted to go, and he did. He picks up the theft.
Yeah, you know, it's a combination of things. Obviously, you've got a base stealer on there, but it's a base stealer who hasn't been on base very much. And once they get an opportunity to get on base, they want to go. And it's not a bad idea by the Astros. Keep pressure on. They lead the American League in stolen bases, so you can expect them to be aggressive once they do get on base. Now here's where Bogaerts, the shortstop's in a tough spot. He's in the shift, but he's got to be responsible for keeping Gomez close to second base, so he'll take off again.
Nobody out, and here's the 2-1. Right through it. And back to a breaking ball, a slider. Tucker is the older brother of Kyle Tucker, who was a first-round draft pick of the Astros last year, so it's a real baseball family. He started at the University of Florida, where he set a school record for hits, doubles, and RBIs in a career. Two. He got him. He strikes him out.
He does strike out a lot. He's only walked 4 times on the season. That's his 25th strikeout of the year. And that coming on either the slider or cut fastball. Tough for me to tell. But whatever one it was effective. He got the swing and miss.
You make a great point, because a lot of times you'll look at a pitcher's arsenal and they'll say cutter or slider.
Yeah.
And they're almost identical.
Almost identical. The cutter is a smaller break, and it breaks later than the slider does. The grip on that one looked to be a slider grip.
Some guys will throw both. Here's Castro hitting .214, but in the series he's 4 for 10. He takes strike 1.
See that last pitch, and it looks to me like it's a slider that he threw to get the swing and miss. Bigger break on it.
Gomez down to second. The Astros have pounded their way into the lead here on the home run by Valbuena and lead it 3-2. Creeping in Bogaerts, but the throw won't get him. No tag. Altuve on deck. O'Sullivan working with a very deliberate tempo, and the 0-1 pitch will not be made. Throw into second, and a tag, not in time. Gomez a little bit shaken up, I think, on the tag.
He wanted to go. You see him take off right there, and then all of a sudden O'Sullivan steps off, spins around, and makes that throw. And He might have jammed his hand going back into the bag. We'll take another look. The tag's going to be on the forearm. Does he get stepped on? No. Tough to tell exactly what he hurt going back into the bag. But he was definitely going on that one. Now let's take a look at the head. Does his head hit the? Yeah, he bangs his head into the knee. It looks like a Bogarts, and maybe a little stunned after that contact.
Yeah, so he's probably going through some concussion tests right here. That first run of them, answering those questions, and you've got to pass those to stay in the game. A.J. Hinch, the manager, out there too. He tells Xander he's okay. Xander slapped a pretty forceful tag on him too. He made sure.
It looked like it was going to be a very close play, and you want to be quick with that tag, as quick as possible.
So the count is 0-1 with one down, 3 runs in for Houston. They lead it 3-2. Popped up, but that'll go foul.
Yeah, I was watching those pickoff attempts, and I like what Jackie Bradley does in center field. I mean, your job is not to just stand there and watch the play. Your job is to back up the play, because if the ball gets by the shortstop or second baseman on a pickoff attempt, you're responsible for coming in and trying to hold that runner at that position instead of letting him get into third base. And Bradley was on a sprint coming in to back up the play, so that's his job.
The 0-2 to Castro. He jammed him.
Take a look at Jackie Bradley on the pickoff attempt. Now watch him when they spin and throw. He's on his way in just in case that ball gets by and it rolls hard into the outfield. Then he's got an opportunity after the slide to throw him out of third base. So your job in the outfield is not just to stand there and watch. You got responsibilities.
O'Sullivan hoping to pick up his second consecutive strikeout and get Castro here. Instead, a hard ground ball to first base. Shaw will take it to the bag, and down to third. Gomez, 2 down. Altuve next. Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games? Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace, RedSoxReplay.com. It's the best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game. Altuve is 0 for 1. He's hit safely in 7 straight games. He was on base 5 times on Saturday, 2 singles and 3 walks. And a strike. He has an on-base percentage of .437. And he could do housekeeping as well if you ask him to.
Yeah, one thing hitters hate is to have a paper out there between the pitcher and them. Sometimes, you know, you see in the white baseball, the white piece of paper. So give me a clear path.
He is the reigning Gold Glover at second base. Dustin Pedroia means to win that back. Of course, Pedroia has won 4 of them, and he's having that kind of a season. Two of the best in the business there. Outside. Altuve leading the majors in runs, stolen bases, doubles. He's second in OPS and third in slugging percentage. Gomez off third base with 2 down. Fly to right field, but there's Betts looking up into the sun. It kept on carrying, but he makes the play. But the Houston Astros get 3 on the home run by Valbuena. 3-2 Astros. Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. For an injury update, let's go down to Garen.
Thanks, OB. Eduardo Rodriguez got up to 100 pitches yesterday in his start for Pawtucket. John Farrell said that he threw a high percentage of strikes, but they'd still like to see an uptick in performance and that he's not quite back to the levels that he pitched at last year. Rodriguez will start again for Pawtucket on Thursday, and Joe Kelly will start for Pawtucket tomorrow. And guys, Farrell said that they're going to evaluate both players after their starts before they determine those next steps.
Garen, how did your shoes come through the Gatorade bath yesterday?
Oh, you had to bring up my shoes. You had to bring up my shoes. Unfortunately, my shoes are no longer with us. We may be able to salvage the dress.
Okay. All right. Here's the video evidence. I'm surprised anything survived there, but great way to finish it.
However, the dress will no longer be white. It may now be my new blue dress.
I could, yeah. Rutledge taking one in there for a strike. Leading off the second, Red Sox are trailing 3-2 to Houston. Rutledge, then Holt, and Hannigan against Chris Davinsky. 6'3" right-hander, and a high fly ball to left center field, but not deep. Gomez battling the sun, and he can't make the play. Blinded by the sun, and Rutledge is into second base. That sun is eating up the Astros in this series.
Well, you know, Dave, we highlighted that at the beginning of the ball game. Two things to watch out for today: the bright sunshine, which we saw in effect yesterday here at Fenway Park, and the wind. And they are major factors in outfield and infield fly balls and pop-ups. And there's a perfect example. Now, yesterday we saw the same type of problems. Bogart's losing the ball in the sun right at the end. We saw it again with the Astros as Correa actually got hit on the arm with a fly ball.
So that goes as a double, and Brock Holt steps in, hitting .273 homers, 19 RBIs. And Gomez is a really good outfielder. He's a multiple Gold Glove winner, but Sun plays no favorites. The 1-0. Hard grounder snagged by White. He'll take it to the bag, and sliding into third base, Rutledge.
It's a heads-up play by White. You know, he's playing in about even with the bag, and the ball's hit hard by Brock Holt. First of all, Brock Holt gets his job done. He moves the ball to the right side. But White was thinking about third base. Watch him spin and look there, and I think he's upset he didn't throw it because he just may have had an opportunity to get Rutledge. But that's a risky play, and for me, I like to take the out at first base.
I think you're right, though. I think he had second thoughts.
Yeah, he did. I think he was upset he didn't make that throw.
Well, Hannigan with an RBI chance. Ryan just 1 for 10 on his homestand. And he rattles that one foul. The middle infield backed up. 3-2 Houston here in the second. So between the sun and the wind, which is howling toward right field, this could be a day of great adventure in the outfield. The rookie Davinsky with an 0-1 and a big breaking ball inside. Mookie Betts on deck. The Red Sox on this homestand have averaged 10.5 runs a game. They've had at least 11 hits in every game, all 6 of them. Line into left field, and another run will score. A base hit for Hannigan, one of his best swings of the season. We are dead even at 3.
Good job. Hannigan gets a mistake. Mislocation. They want the fastball away. Instead it tails inside, as you can see. And Hannigan right there hooks it. Cleans it out on the inside part of the plate. By the time it gets to Rasmus, we got a tie ball game. Again, it's all about location. Promise I won't use that again today.
You sound like my realtor. Mookie Betts with a walk and a run in the first inning. Mookie has at least 1 hit and 1 RBI in 5 straight games, which is a really nice stat for a leadoff man. A 3-3 tie. Red Sox are leading the major leagues in runs scored. I think just as impressive is that as a team coming into today, the Red Sox are batting .297. As a team, almost .300, Jerry.
Yeah, and you know, it's fairly deep in the season for an average to be that high for a ball club. .297. That's just remarkable. And you know, on top of that, Dave, the other thing we've constantly talked about is just also doing the small things that are helping the offense, moving runners along, running the bases well, playing good defense. So there's a lot of things that are going into this, and you know, it's not only the big numbers by the offense, which they are very big, but they're also, you know, giving themselves up on outs to advance runners. So it's pretty impressive.
Well, the team ERA is 9th in the American League, 4.19, so that's going to have to improve. Because at some point, collectively, this offense is going to run into a cold spell. That's bound to happen.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to happen. You just don't go through a season hitting .297 as a ball club.
Right now, it's the offense really picking things up. Line drive and a base hit. Right on the button by Mookie Betts. Hannigan into second base. There will come a time where the pitching is going to have to pick up the offense.
Well, the encouraging thing about the pitching is it has been coming up in the rankings. Here's the fastball again, and then once again that ball runs in on Betts. So that's 2 pitches, 2 fastballs inside, 1 to Hannigan and 1 to Betts, both pulled for base hits. But getting back to the pitching, where they started off so poorly down near the bottom of the league, they have each inched up in the standings in the American League. So there has been improvement in that area, but you're right. You know, the more consistent the pitching is, obviously, the better chance you got in the long run.
I think it's going to keep coming, too. You know, the way Price appears to have squared things away with his mechanics. You've got Rodriguez on the way back, Kelly on the way back. And here's Pedroia. Of course, Porcello and Wright pitching so well. Petey with a walk and a stolen base, and he scored a run in the first inning. Red Sox with runners at first and second. They've tied the game, trying to regain the lead. Line to right field. Springer there, backing up, tagging up now Hannigan, and he'll advance to third. And there are 2 down. Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will preview Rick Porcello's start against the Royals. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Rick going in 6-1 with an ERA of 3.11. That'll be tomorrow against Yordano Ventura. David Price goes on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, Stephen Wright. So the Sox have the pitching stacked up very nicely. Weather could be a real concern those first couple of days, though, in Kansas City. They're anticipating rain. Dennis Eckersley will be joining me on that trip. Only a 3-game series, and then the Red Sox right back home. And Jerry Remy will be right back with us at Fenway. The runner goes, and the pitch is outside, and it'll be a stolen base for Mookie Betts, who is 8 for 8.
Good choice. You know, often we see Betts peek in and to see if he can pick up a breaking ball. That time he got a breaking ball, and Castro, the catcher, never got out of the crouch. So they're running not only on the slowness of the delivery to home plate by Davinsky, he also picked out the right pitch.
2-0 on Xander, who has hit safely in 9 in a row, and he lined one wickedly to the right fielder Springer that was caught in the first inning. The 2-0 pitch, and that is ball 3. Travis Shaw on deck, maybe moments away from swinging with the bases loaded.
And I'll tell you what, Bogaerts, he just may have the green light here. 3 balls and no strikes with a couple of men in scoring position. I mean, he's only hitting .340 coming into the game.
A borderline strike.
And not the kind of pitch you want to swing at right there on a 3-0 count. A ball that's away from you and a nasty pitch on the outside corner. You're looking for something middle in, something you can drive.
Hitters count for Xander. Runners at second and third. A little pop up down the right field line, off into the stands. David Ortiz resting today. He earned it. And when Garrett Austin asked him yesterday if he would consider returning for another year, he paused for just a moment. And then he said, let's win the World Series. And he ran right to his daughter Alexandra's 15th birthday party. She sang the national anthem beautifully on opening day. Here's the 3-2. And popped again, almost in the same spot, off into the crowd. David was tired when he got into the clubhouse today. I mean, he did a lot of running in yesterday's game. He was a single away from the cycle.
Yeah, I asked John Farrell about that this morning, why he was not in the lineup. He said, well, he did a lot of running yesterday. He's a little bit sore. And he said best to, give him a down day right now. And of course, he'd be available if needed as a pinch hitter.
Hannigan and Betts get their leads. The 3-2. High fly ball into left field. Carrying up, headed over the monster. Gone! Xander Bogaerts with a 3-run homer.
Bogaerts picks up number 4 on the season. We've seen every fastball that's been inside in this inning get roped by the Red Sox. Hannigan got one. Betts gets one. Now Bogaerts gets one, and Bogaerts takes it over everything out in left field. What did I tell you about his power, Dave? I mean, I really expect him to be around 15 by the time it's over.
You and I were discussing it in spring training, and for him, that's number 4. Absolutely spanked it. Shaw with a high pop. The shortstop just lost it entirely. Here comes Rasmus. He makes the play. That one almost fell in. Xander hit his entirely out of the ballpark 3-run homer, and the Red Sox leading it 6-3. The offense exploding again. It's 6-3. He says he is going to put together a special season. It has started out that way. Springer taking one down low, 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Well, Speedway is proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience. For every Red Sox homer this season, Speedway donates $500 to the Boston Children's Hospital. Stop by a Speedway store near you, pick up your Speedway rewards card, and start earning points today. And the Red Sox continue to score in bunches. This has been some homestand. Springer, Correa, and Rasmus for Houston. That just missed.
Well, you're the one, Dave, that said get here early because of this offense, and what's happened today, they put 6 runs up in the first 2 innings. So people have been getting here a little bit early to see the offense take off at the beginning of the ball game.
Yeah, we have noticed that. Line foul, I think, in the early games of the season. That was not necessarily the case. Kind of a late arriving crowd, but more and more frequently we're seeing people getting in their seats. You got to be in front of your TV too if you're watching a game at home very early. Not a big crowd on a nice day. Gusty, but sunny. And O'Sullivan with a 2-2. Big bounder right to Bogarts. And Springer is 0 for 2. DraftKings is the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Boston Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings right now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSON at DraftKings.com. One away for Correa. Young shortstop who grew up in Puerto Rico, close to the Alomar family. In tight. Word is he has agreed to act in an upcoming movie about the life of Roberto Clemente. He can hit for power, play shortstop, and we'll see if he can act. 1-1. They already have bullpen activity. Mike Fiers beginning to throw. Red Sox knocking Chris Davinsky, the rookie, around early. The 1-1 pitch outside. I don't believe he is playing Roberto Clemente in the film. I think it's a supporting role.
Whatever. I mean, you know, to become an actor at that age, that's fantastic. It offers him a career when he's done with baseball.
Just missed. Hannigan held it there for an extra moment.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. A fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, not called a strike.
So he's gone to 3-1. There's a high fly ball. That one tomahawk to left. Way back it goes, and that is gone. Number 7 for Correa. Second home run allowed by O'Sullivan here. That'll make it a 6-4 game. The Red Sox lead is down to 2.
Now, you know, the old saying is right-handers are high ball hitters. Well, I'm not sure that's always the case, but it certainly was on this last swing by Carlos Correa. He gets a high fastball right here inside and is able to lift that ball out of the ballpark for the home run. That ball was up and in, and he still gets the bat head out to take it out of Fenway Park for the home run. He's just a terrific player.
His 7th home run. Rasmus has 7 as he digs in. And he bunts toward third base. Rutledge the bare hand the throw, and up the line it goes. Pedroia with a sprawling effort to keep it from going up that line anymore. And that'll be a base hit for Rasmus, who has been flirting with bunting throughout the series.
He has been. Almost every time up, he's at least faked a bunt down the third baseline, and this time he gets it down the third baseline. Rutledge has to barehand it, throw it to first. A good job by Pedroia backing up. He'll dive for the ball, knock it down. That's going to keep Rasmus at first base. But you can see very patiently there. He squared early because they were in the shift. And there you see Pedroia backing up the play to keep Rasmus at first base, keep the double play in order.
John Farrell is out to talk with Joe West, and I wonder if this is going to be.
I think it's going to be about being out of the batter's box.
Out of the batter's box?
That's what I think. And let's take another look at Rasmus. Takes a step and then another step. The question is, did he make contact? It was tough to see from that angle. Did he make contact with the baseball out of the box? And he did. He was out of the batter's box. Watch his front foot. One step and then out. But the question is, did he make contact before? That is the question, I think, that they're talking about. You know, he's out there and he's out there. Now, any part of the foot that's out of the batter's box, you're supposed to be out.
So they're getting together to see if any of the other umpires may have seen that from their angle. And now Joe West is going to go over and explain to John Farrell that nobody saw that.
Well, nobody saw it. You can't do anything about that if you're John Farrell. But John Farrell made a good point because both feet are out of the batter's box. You have to be completely in. The left foot is out. Then comes contact, I believe. Yes. So don't worry about the right foot. It's the left foot that was out of the batter's box. Any part of your foot out of the batter's box, you are out.
So base runner, one down. Here's Tyler White, who has walked and scored. And he looks at a strike.
And I know that because I got called out one time doing the same thing.
And you bunted a lot.
Yes.
That trims the outside corner for a called strike. Rasmus on at first base with one gone. Red Sox with a 6-4 lead. Already 10 runs in this game. Swing and a miss, and down he goes on a fastball with some life on it. White fans.
Fastball away this time, as you can see, up and away a little bit. He climbs the ladder on White and picks up the strikeout with the man at first base in Rasmus.
Lexus is making a pledge to strike out hunger. For every strikeout by a Sox pitcher, Lexus donates $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank.
You know, getting back to that rule for 1 second, Dave, you know, when you on a full swing, if any part of your foot is out of the batter's box, you're out. But they never call that. They never will on a swing. I've never seen it called, but I've seen it called on bunts.
Here's Valbuena, who's already crushed a 3-run homer. That came in the second inning. 2 down. And that'll sink in there for a called strike.
That's why a lot of times you'll see hitters who stand deep in the batter's box rub out that line behind home plate because they want to get as deep as they possibly can. That's about as deep as you can get.
2 down in the pitch, and he popped him up on the infield. Shaw there, and he'll put that away for out number 3. A home run by Correa tightens it up. 6-4 Red Sox. Houston, Mike Fiers. Chris Davinsky, their rookie right-hander, only lasting 2 innings, gives up 6 runs on 5 hits, including a big 3-run homer out of Fenway Park by Xander Bogaerts. Back to that play by Rasmus, by the way. We were looking through all of the items that can be reviewed and those we know that cannot be reviewed. It wasn't on either list, but obviously it can't be reviewed, that particular bunt play. But as Jerry said, that's why they went to the umpires, to see if anybody could overturn it.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, on that subject, you know, it's pretty impossible for one of the base umpires to see that from where they're located. It really has to be a home plate umpire call, and that's a hard one too, because you know they're looking at the pitch, and you know it's a very difficult call to make. See that left foot out of the box, contact made. Don't worry about the right foot, because contact has already been made, and that one's out of the box too, but that's after contact. But that's a very tough call, very difficult to make.
Just about impossible. Well, Hanley Ramirez will lead off the 3rd inning here. Red Sox with a 6-4 lead. The sun has disappeared, and the Astros are thrilled, because they have had considerably more difficulty with the sun in this series than the Red Sox have. The Red Sox have had a little. Hanley has an RBI double that he torched down the left field line. His first at bat, his 23rd run batted in, and he looks at a strike from Fiers. He'll be followed by Jackie Bradley, who's 0 for 1 in his bid to make it 21 straight. Fiers a starter by trade, and that's a base hit into right field, and Hanley is 2 for 2. So Davinsky knocked out. Here's his pitching line, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. A short stint. Walked a couple of men, 6 earned runs, 56 pitches, and not enough strikes. And the Red Sox keep on swinging the bats. Here comes Jackie. Popped up to the pitcher his first time up. He is hitting .416 during his 20-game hitting streak with an on-base percentage of .458. Dribbled on the infield, charged by the first baseman. He bobbles it, flips now. Altuve was there to cover and got him. Down to second base is Hanley Ramirez.
Good recovery by Tyler White at first base. He wanted to get Ramirez at second base, and then had to make a quick shuffle pass to get Bradley at first. He really didn't have much of a chance at Hanley at second base. I was even surprised to see him look in that direction. And then as he's turning, he drops the baseball right there. Never really had it in his glove, and then had to go to the shuffle pass to first base.
So it goes 3-4, and the batter is Josh Rutledge, who has already doubled and scored in this one. He's hitting .375. Red Sox up 6-4.
That's why I love Twitter, Dave. You know, I check it quite often during the game, and I'm getting responses about the rules. And Rule 603 says the foot has to entirely be out of the batter's box, and I'm not sure it was on that particular occasion with Colby Rasmus. It looked like it.
0-1 hammered. Oh, and a kick. The pitcher kicked it, and everybody's going to be safe. Got Fiers on the foot, and they're going to be on the corners. That probably saved him a run, though.
It certainly did, because that ball was probably headed up the middle. Ball hit very hard by Rutledge. He top spin ground ball and hits him right off that left foot. He stops it from going into center field. It rolls towards first base. He doesn't know where it is. So the Red Sox have a little first and third action.
Looked like a soccer move.
Now, if he was trying to do that, that's pretty impressive.
I don't think so. Be a base hit. So Rutledge is 2 for 2. And sends up Brock Holt. Brock is 0 for 1. He is grounded out to first base. So he is 2 for 10 in the series. usually carves up the Houston Astros. Had some great games against Houston, the native Texan. Two men on here in the third inning. Brock had a 17-game hitting streak against the Astros, snapped on Friday night. And fires, delivers.
You know, just to be with infielders here, you know, we talked about Bradley backing up a pickoff attempt at second base, and small thing, but good for kids to know, is even on a throw to first base on a pickoff attempt, when that throw comes back from the first baseman, what's the third baseman supposed to do? Back up the throw. And that's exactly what Valbuena did a couple of pitches ago.
1-0 pitch, runner at first goes, and it's fouled away. Rutledge was in motion, so the Sox had a play on. I remember the 5-hit game that Brock Holt had in Houston 2 years ago. 5 hits, cranked a home run. His family was in the stands. His mom was in tears watching her son have 5 hits against the Astros. Dive back for Rutledge. Trying to pick up his first hit of the day here and get another run in. Fires with a 1-1.
Well, you know, we have announced this Sunday, you know, kids announced the lineups. We have a clubhouse. Now, this is for young kids. Watch the third baseman on a throw back to a pitcher. He backs up the pitcher to make sure the ball doesn't get by him just in case, so the run doesn't score or a runner in advance. So it's a small thing, but it's things that kids should know.
The 2-1. There goes Rutledge again. Swung on and misses. The throw down to second, and not in time. Hanley holding at third base. So Rutledge has a stolen base, and now there are 2 men in scoring position.
Well, I'll tell you, the Red Sox had their running shoes on here today, and that might have been a hit and run attempt right there, but no contact by Brock Holt, because when Rutledge took off at first base, he kind of looked back in, so that leads me to believe it was probably a hit and run play.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And he just made contact there. Six runs on 7 hits for the Red Sox. 4 runs on 3 hits for Houston. A lot of scoring early. Only the 3rd inning. And the 2-2. Waved at and missed. He got him. He broke out a pretty good changeup.
Yeah, right over the top with that changeup, and that's kind of a difficult one, you know, when they're right over the top with it like that. Little dip to it right at the end, and Brock Holt with no contact, so still second and third now with 2 outs. Red Sox had a big 2-out home run by Bogaerts back in the 2nd inning.
Ryan Hannigan 1 for 1 with a base hit that drove in a run in the 2nd. As he hit it right on the button, now hitting 167. He bounced it up there, and Castro with a nice stop.
Blocked by Castro behind the plate. Curveball is going to come back to him. He knows that, so he slides over, doesn't try to catch it, just block it. Here's the slide to his right, and then watch the ball come back. Breaking ball will do that. And gets him right off the chest protector.
Well, Houston brings out the best in Ryan Hanigan. He's played 53 games against them. He's hitting .344 with 2 homers. He checks in a strike. Mookie Betts on deck. 2 men in scoring position. Houston going to the bullpen very early, and that's low. Hanigan looking for his second hit this afternoon. And fires the veteran right-hander with a 2-1. He left that high. So Hanigan should get something to swing at. Betts on deck. Fires a starter now working out of their pen. Here's the 3-1. Waved at and missed.
That's a good pitch. You know, 3-1, 2 men in scoring position. As a hitter, you're thinking about the fastball, but instead he comes with that split right there, as you can see, and not much dip to it, but certainly off speed enough to fool Hanigan on the 3-1 count. You're all geared up for the fastball, you don't get it.
So the count is full with 2 down. Runners leading at second and third for the Sox. And a line drive base hit. Hanley Ramirez is in. Here comes the second run, and bobble out there by Rasmus. They both score without a play at the plate. And the Red Sox lead it 8-4. Rasmus has had the bobbles out there a couple of times.
Yeah, well, he's trying to rush that. You know, he knows it's going to be close at home because with 2 outs, the runners are off on contact. As soon as contact is made, they're off. So he knows he's going to rush. And I don't think Rasmus has the type of arm that was going to throw him out anyway from left field. See him look up first before he had the ball because he knew he had the rush. Now, if we can get a shot at Rutledge at second base prior to that contact, we're going to show you what you mean with 2 outs and with 2 strikes.
Now, he runs well. I think you're right. He's not going to get him.
I don't think so. No, I think that should be a base hit and 2 RBIs.
Yep, that was the scoring.
Now watch Rutledge with 2 strikes on him right here. As soon as there's contact made, you take off, and that helps you get another 5 feet on that third base line. That's why Rasmus had the rush. Now, if there's 1 out or 1 strike, you don't get that kind of jump.
Mookie Betts lets that one go down and in. A big day for Hanigan. He's driven in 3 runs. He's hit a couple of shots here today, and the Red Sox lead at 8-4. Mookie has walked and scored. He has singled and scored. He's also stolen his 8th base in 8 tries, and he fouls it away. Rasmus did not give himself a chance to throw out the runner as he left it behind, but Rutledge does motor around in good shape.
And you know, the big thing there, as I mentioned too, you know, with the 2 strikes and you're off on contact, it makes a big difference. There's 4 or 5 steps you pick up, and that's going to make that left fielder rush because he knows that that run is off.
1-2. The Red Sox just keep on pressing and pressing. 3 more hits in this inning. They had 4 last inning. Hanley Ramirez had a run scoring double in the first inning. Fires with a 2-2. High fly to center field, and Gomez backs up ever so slightly to put it away. Red Sox strike again. 2 more, and now lead it 8-4 at Fenway. Wilson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. A big day at the ballpark before we get underway. Wally's birthday, and he had all the mascots from all over Major League Baseball here at Fenway Park, and they came bringing gifts, Jerry.
Yeah, you know, big day for Wally, and I remember Wally when he was a nothing. I mean, now he's huge.
Huge.
Remember when Wally first came out of the wall, it was, you know, before a lot of change here at Fenway Park, and he was not well received his first time coming out.
Particularly by you.
No, that's just the opposite.
As Pedroia goes back, fighting the sun, it's popped out again. Well, I know publicly you were a big supporter, but you've come around now, which is nice. But
oh no, I jumped on Wally's bandwagon right from the beginning.
You
and
did?
Yeah, I got to a point there for a while where I had stories about him every day. I took him on the road with me. We did little cameos at different spots. He went to Alcatraz. He did a lot of stuff, so he became very popular, you know. And
yeah. You made him popular.
Well, he was nothing. I mean, he came out and he got booed. I felt bad for him. I really did. So I had this little gig, you know, that I would do with Wally all the time. And now they have birthday parties for him. Kids love him.
Yeah.
Adults love him. You love him.
He's got a sister now.
He's got a sister. I don't know where she came from, but he's got a nice sister.
And now he never calls, never writes.
Oh, no, he's too big a star now. Although I got to tell you, very friendly. I did a couple of appearances when you guys were on the road last time here at Fenway, and you know, both of them happen to be with Wally. And he's a big star. I mean, everybody wants a picture with him. Everybody wants to be, you know, take a picture and have it framed when they get home. So it's you know, it's pretty special.
Yeah.
And you know, happy birthday to him.
I had always thought you were just sort of putting on that, but clearly you're deeply touched by Wally. And
well, you want to know the true story?
I do.
The true story, the very true story is, and this was a long time ago when he came out and he got booed. They were trying to push Wally, and they came to me and they said, you know, can you push him a little bit in the booth, because we got this Wally giveaway day.
Yeah. And
they were giving away Wally beanbags, and they didn't have a large crowd expected on that particular day. And so I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and the bet was if they got over a certain amount of people in the ballpark, I would get a free dinner. That's how it started. That's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
They got over number of people than they thought, and I never got the dinner.
Oh, so they came up with Butkus.
Yep.
No such thing as a free dinner.
It's the old regime. If it was this regime, I wouldn't have said it. But
the other regime a little tight.
No, I just think they forgot.
Into the outfield, Pedroia to snag that. And Tucker is retired, 2 up and 2 down. Did you miss today's all-new episode of NESN Clubhouse? Well, catch the encore presentation today following our Red Sox coverage. NESN Clubhouse presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Jason Castro to step up. Red Sox with an 8-4 lead. There's your star.
Yeah, and mascots have come today from all over the country to be part of this celebration, this wonderful celebration at Fenway Park.
You are selling it. Happy birthday to Wally. In for a called strike. Astros 0 for 1. 8 runs, 8 hits already for the Red Sox. 4 runs on 3 hits for Houston. And the sun again back out. And at times it has been blinding. With a victory here today, the Red Sox would wrap up the homestand 6-1. And hoping to take this offense on the road to Kansas City against the defending world champions. Royals so far in the middle of the pack in the Central. In fact, they're 2 games under 500. 17-19. So didn't come firing out of the gate this year. Neither did this Houston club. 2-2. Yesterday's star, the star of many yesterdays, David Ortiz, relaxing here this afternoon, at least at the outset. Yesterday, his 600th double. And took the bag with him. Line drive. Oh, and a leap and a snag by Pedroia. Wonderful play. He steals a hit from Castro. 1, 2, 3 they go. Things off. He just made a wonderful play moments ago.
Well, we see the shift all the time, and you wonder why the second baseman is so deep. It's for that reason right there. And I can tell you, that's not that easy a play because, you know, you're used to diving or jumping for balls while you're in the infield on the dirt section, not when you're that deep. And that time he takes the base hit away.
And the man who makes the great play leads off the inning, which does not happen nearly as often as people think it does. But Pedroia has walked, stolen a base. He's also flied out to right field. To the right side, Altuve. One man out. Let's go down to Garen Austin.
Thanks, OB. What an end to yesterday's game. You could really just feel that excitement down here on the field. And I talked to David Ortiz this morning about what he thinks is different about this team. And he said it's the younger players. He said they're so mature, the way they go about their business, and their constant need to improve and how they're always asking questions. And guys, Ortiz said that when he was a younger player, he was always asking everyone questions and he was wearing everyone out in the clubhouse. And he said, guys, now that he's the one answering the questions, it's really an honor.
Yeah, he says he loves that. Loves when Bogarts and Betts and Travis Shaw ask him about hitting, about pitching, about the game in general. It has really energized him. Sitting there with Eduardo Rodriguez. Big Papi for the 20th time in his career with a walk-off hit. Bogart stings that one dead away center. Gomez backing up to the track. Leaps up and makes the catch despite the snow cone very close to the wall. That's 3 times now Bogarts is hitting right on the screws.
Yeah, he really has. A line drive to right field, a 3-run home run. Now this fly ball, which is a very difficult play out there for Gomez, because remember, as we talked about, he's fighting the sun, he's fighting the wind, and you could see him readjust a couple of times just to make that catch.
2 down for Travis Shaw. He has struck out and flied out. He's trying to run his hitting streak to 7 in a row. Red Sox ahead 8-4 in the 4th inning. To the first baseman White. That's going to be a fast inning. Very few pitches by Fiers. Red Sox go in order. They lead 8-4. Sean O'Sullivan's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. Through 4, 3 earned runs, 71 pitches for the right-hander from San Diego. And delivers a strike on Altuve, who has flied out 2 times. Top of the order here for the Astros. Red Sox in the lead 8-4. Looking to win the series today. And punch foul. Altuve hitting .340. Don't be surprised if come the end of September he's still hitting .340. Detroit, it's the second time he's done this. He's gone out in front of home plate to pick up a scrap of paper. Detroit and the Orioles are tied up 3-3. They're in the 4th inning. White Sox are leading the Yankees 4-3 in the 5th. 0-2 and hammered for a base hit through the hole. So that's how the 5th inning gets underway. Altuve with a sharp single. Stay tuned for the mid-5th studio show after the 3rd out of this inning, presented by GMC with TC and Steve Lyons.
Altuve just such a tough out. I mean, you get ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes, and he still is able to make contact, pull that ball between the hole and 3rd and short, pick up the base hit. 8-game hitting streak now for Altuve.
Sends up Springer, who's 0 for 2. He's flied to right and grounded to short. Leading into today's had a very nice series, 6 for 15, 8 RBIs for the Connecticut native.
I think the most surprising thing in this series, Altuve does not have a steal yet. And he's been on base a ton.
13 stolen bases in 14 attempts. Leads the majors in thefts. And O'Sullivan delivers to Springer. 1-0. The Astros beat the Yankees in a 1-game wild-card game last fall before eventually falling to Kansas City in 5 games in the division series. They almost won that series. They were on the brink of advancing to the league championship. They were up 4 runs in the 8th inning of Game 4 at home before Kansas City rallied for a stunning victory, and they went on to win that series. And that was the end of the ride for A.J. Hinch and his young team. 2-0 runner holding, and a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Springer with a single. Altuve on his way to third. Jackie Bradley throws off balance and won't get him. Throw to second and won't get him. So the throw on to third allowed Springer to advance to second base.
Yeah, that's probably an ill-advised throw by Jackie Bradley in center field, because what you want to do in this situation is keep another man out of scoring position. Very aggressive base running by Altuve. You see Jackie catching that ball and a little bit surprised that he was going to third base, but I think the proper throw for him would have been going to second base and keep Correa out of scoring position.
So Carl Willis is out and the bullpen is up. Robbie Ross starts to loosen. And Willis is hoping to buy him some time here, but runners at second and third and nobody out. You figure 8 runs ought to be enough. May not be the case today. MLB.TV is premium, everything that you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game, all 30 teams in true high def. Visit MLB.TV for details. So trouble for O'Sullivan on the singles, and more trouble coming up. And Carlos Correa has already hammered a long home run here today, his 7th. And his 2nd in as many days. Into the dirt. Nice block by Hannigan.
That last time up, a home run for Correa that's going to be on a high fastball. The ball was supposed to be away. It stayed up and in, and he takes it out of Fenway for the home run. His 7th of the season.
10 hits in his last 19 at bats. Runners in scoring position. He's pretty good. Into center, charging in. Jackie Bradley makes the play. Altuve will not try and score. How about this throw? Hannigan knocks it down. Altuve staying glued to third base.
You know, a lot of times decisions are made by the third base coach on how the outfielder reacts to a baseball, and the way that Jackie Bradley charged this ball, that really made Altuve stay at third base, even though he's got great speed. Now there's the throw, and it's going to bounce up on Hannigan. So had Altuve gone, he may have been safe, but the way that Jackie caught that ball coming into at home plate, and in fact they're also down by 4 runs, that held the runner at third base.
That'll send up Rasmus, who's reached on an error and bunted his way on, and here comes John Farrell. So that is going to do it. The call has been made to Ross, who is ready to take on Rasmus. And the day is done for O'Sullivan despite the 8 runs, a pretty early exit. We're going to take the break and be back with more in just a moment. by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By buyatoyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. And by your New England Audi dealers. Sean O'Sullivan done after 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 79 pitches. And gives way to Robbie Ross, sporting a 2.93 earned run average. 1 out, 2 men in scoring position. Rasmus the batter. And 1 for 2 today. So John Farrell going for the lefty against the lefty. And he fouls it away for strike 1. Rasmus has been their premier RBI guy. He's driven in 28. Red Sox 8, Houston 4 in the 5th. He had a notion, but he stayed away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So far, back-to-back sliders from Ross. The first one out over the middle of the plate that was fouled off. The next one outside.
Red Sox playing him to pull, but it's wide to make it 2-1. Certainly a left-handed hitter's wind today at Fenway Park. Been blown out to right field most of the day, and that'll be a strike.
4 pitches, 4 sliders. The first and the fourth over the plate, the other 2 outside.
Will he get a fastball?
I don't think so. I think they'll stay with the breaking ball away. Well, probably wrong, but we'll see.
Altuve and Springer leading.
Yeah.
Waved at and missed, and you were correct. The slider got him for strike 3.
Well, you know, nothing tricky about this. It's all sliders, and the first one's going to miss. I mean, hang out over the plate, and that was probably the best one he had to hit in the whole at bat. Now he's going to miss outside with 2 of them. Come back to one that's going to be over the plate. That's a good pitch to hit, but then back away off the outside edge. So nothing but breaking balls, just a different location. And once you get ahead or you get 2 strikes, you can throw it way off the plate, and that's when Rasmus chases it.
This is a big performance for Ross. If he can freeze them right here and keep them from scoring a run in this inning. Here's Tyler White. He has walked and struck out. He takes that one up high. And don't you get the feeling that Robbie is getting higher leverage situations, and he's been coming through in these?
Yeah, and you know, in particular with big situation there with 2 men in scoring position, and he got the lefty coming up. That's why John Farrell immediately went to Ross. They have great confidence in him.
2-0. A lefty hitter in Valbuena on deck. Red Sox ahead 8-4. But the Astros thinking about getting right back in the thick of it here. There are 2 down, 2 men in scoring position. And the 2-0 pitch to White. 3-0.
And White might have the green light. Even though they're down by 4 runs, you've got a lefty on deck, as you mentioned. So if he gets a pitch he can handle, he may have the go ahead and swing light.
White has been cold against southpaws. Here comes the 3-0. Taking all the way, and that's inside ball 4. So the bases will be loaded. And that'll be another lefty. Have you downloaded the Sox season schedule into your favorite calendar program? You can visit NESN.com/schedule to download right now. Buenda's already belted a 3-run homer. That was against O'Sullivan in the 2nd inning, and he's popped up. And no place to put him. The Astros have belted 2 home runs. And they have hit 2 grand slams against the Red Sox this season. That's inside.
Valbuena earlier in the ball game gets a fastball that's up above the belt, and a little hop, skip, and a jump for him after he makes contact there. 3-run shot.
So it's Altuve at third, Springer at second, and White at first. And Valbuena wants time. And now the 1-0. And that just missed. Wait, Hannigan held it there, and Joe West did not reconsider.
That looked like a pretty good pitch. Let's take a look on the pitch zone. Does it get the bottom of the strike zone? I believe it did. Been a couple of those today that have not gone the pitcher's way.
Yeah, the low strike, the 2-0. Hammered foul.
And that forced Robbie Ross to come back with a fastball on a 2-0 count, something he probably didn't want to do to Valbuena.
The Astros and a man at every base. Red Sox leading 8-4. And Ross trying to get out of it. And a shot toward the alley. On the move, Jackie Bradley on the run. Won't get it. It's into the triangle, and it hops up into the stands. So that'll bring in a couple of runs and make it 8-6. And the Red Sox caught a bit of a break there. And at the ballpark was a friend there as it skipped up into the seats.
It certainly did, because that would have been another run for the Astros. Now there's the breaking ball right there that's going to be out over the plate. And you know, not to make an excuse, but the fact is, and it's the truth, if you get the call that you're supposed to get, and that's that low strike, you put the count in a whole different situation. Then he can go to the breaking ball that's off the plate and hope that he chases. That ball had to be out over the plate. Valbuena's able to take it for the ground rule double.
So here's Gomez flicking that one foul. 2 runners in scoring position again. And now it is an 8-6 game. And the Astros certainly not laying down. Valbuena has driven in 5 runs. He's at second base. And the 0-1 to Gomez. High and tight. He has walked and flied out. This one turning into a slugfest on a Sunday afternoon. Two down and the 1-1 to Carlos Gomez. He won't chase. To 1 pitch, and that'll find the mark. So Sullivan charged with 6 runs, 5 earned. Red Sox still leading at 8-6. Ross looking for the K, and that got him. It hit him. So the bases are going to be loaded. And nobody warming in the bullpen as Willis comes out again.
Robbie Ross letting the fastball go inside, and you can see it gets right off the armpit area of Gomez. And that's the last thing Ross wants to do. You got Gomez hitting under 180 prior to that at bat. Hits him, loads the bases. Now he gets to work, though, on a left-hander, Tucker.
So it's been an odd performance here for Ross, who's been pretty darn reliable. But after the 2-run double, he hits a batter, and now they're all filled up again with Tucker, the hitter. He has struck out and grounded out to second. Red Sox just trying to get out of this inning with the lead. 8-6 Boston here in the top of the 5th. Tucker hitting just 181, but he does have 3 homers. That's a strike. 96 on the radar gun.
And that's the key for Ross. Get ahead of the lefty, then he can go to the breaking balls away.
White, Valbuena, and Gomez filling the bases for Houston. Robbie has not thrown many strikes. He's thrown 20 pitches, only 8 strikes. He's kind of been spraying it all over the place. All jammed up with 2 down. And his 1-1. He missed badly there.
Tried the slider away, but way too far outside. Much more comfortable count now for Tucker.
John Farrell may be getting that bullpen active again. Here comes the 2-1. Wave and a miss. Right back to number 1. Good fastball.
Needed a strike badly, and he gets it on the fastball that's going to be away from Tucker. Almost the same effect as a breaking ball out there.
Hembree to start warming. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded. And he got him. He struck him out with a heater, leaving the bases loaded. That was a bit of an adventure, though, as we go live to our studio with TC and Steve Lyons for the mid-5th studio show presented by GMC. Runs early on in this one, an 8-6 Red Sox lead. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin alongside here in getaway day. Red Sox about to take off for Kansas City. Hanley Ramirez is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. He'll be followed by Bradley and Rutledge. No hits yet for Jackie Bradley, trying to run his hitting streak to 21. Mike Fiers came on to replace the starter Davinsky after 2 innings. He's now working out of their bullpen. He actually beat the Red Sox as a starter on April 23rd, 8-3 in Houston. So he expects to be out there a while.
Hanley's come out with a different approach again today, and if you notice his front leg, he's not using that leg kick Howie at all. I mean, he had cut down on it at the beginning of the season, but so far today he's just kind of picking his heel up.
Fought off foul out of play.
And talk about adjustments made on the fly. I mean, it happens all the time with hitters. Now, you know, we showed you a split screen earlier in the year where Hanley's difference between his swing last year and this year. Now, this is even more drastic, where all he's picking up is his heel.
Looking for his third hit. Fiers taking his time. Of course, his bunt attempt in the 9th inning with 2 out yesterday. David Ortiz at third. That shocked everybody. You'd certainly prefer to see a near 300 career hitter swing the bat, but there's no doubt if that play works out, that's the play everyone's talking about. If he gets that bunt, that one goes over the head. If he gets it down and by the pitcher, it's the play of the day. He absolutely bunted on his own. And he felt like if he got that down and got David Ortiz in, that was a great play. High fly, dead away center field. Gomez backpedaling to the wall and can't get it. Heading into second base with his third hit of the day, Hanley Ramirez. He is 3 for 3.
You know, Dave, I want to show you, if we talk about adjustments for a hitter, and Hanley's 3 for 3 this afternoon. What's he done differently today than just yesterday? Watch his swing yesterday. That's going to be on the left-hand side. Watch his leg kick all the way up, almost to his waist. Okay, now watch today. No leg kick, just a heel coming up. And you know what that does? It quiets down the eyes, the head. You see the ball better. There's less body movement. So you're able to pick up the baseball out of the pitcher's hand a little better. So from day to day, you're making adjustments. Hanley's made a major adjustment from a year ago to what we saw yesterday to what we're seeing today.
Jackie Bradley stings a liner to center field, and that's 21 in a row. Hit so hard that Hanley has to stop at third base. Back-to-back shots by the Red Sox.
Well, I thought Gomez was going to take a chance on that, and I was hoping he would because I had a feeling it would go by him. It was hit that hard by Bradley. Split-fingered fastball doesn't do very much at all. Dips a little bit at the end, but beautiful swing by Jackie Bradley. Keeps his head on the baseball. And you see Gomez, he backs up on it, and I think that's the right thing to do if you're the outfielder, because if you charge that, the ball gets by you, and Bradley probably ends up on third base. So I think Gomez made the proper play there.
So a 21-game hitting streak, hitting .413 during that with 6 homers and 26 runs batted in. Hanley Ramirez at third base. And Josh Rutledge is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. And how about Hanley now? 13 hits in his last 26 at bats. So yet another Red Sox hitter on fire. I mean, up and down the lineup.
I'm just shocked that he's able to make that adjustment that he made in one day and end up with a day that he's got 3 hits in.
There goes Jackie swinging a chopper to third base. Oh, they have Hanley Ramirez in a rundown. And back to Castro, tag him out. Bradley into second base. Chopper right to the third baseman, and Ramirez is out.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do. You know, you can't do anything if Ramirez, because what you're doing is you're taking your secondary lead, and you're going to see where Valbuena makes this play. Now, there's Ramirez. He's going to take his secondary lead down the line on contact, and Valbuena's right in the back. So, you know, all Hanley can do is wave guys around the bases and hope they end up in scoring position.
So it's a fielder's choice. 5-2 brings up Brock Holt. Red Sox leading 8-6. They have reached double figures in hits again, by the way. 10 hits for Boston. Holt is grounded at first and struck out. 1 away. And the ball to Brock. A victory today for the Red Sox, and they go to 10 games over 500 for the first time. Bounding ball toward the hole. Nice sliding stab. Altuve. He'll go to first base to get the out. The runners advance to second and third. And a very smooth play by Altuve.
Altuve leaning to his left because there's a an off-speed pitch coming, the splitter. So, you know, when you see that, you start to lean a little bit. That helps you increase your range. And Altuve's able to knock the ball down and save a run and actually get an out on it. So, heads up by the Houston second baseman, knowing the pitch, knowing what's coming, knowing it might be pulled, knowing he's going to lean, and takes a run away from the Red Sox.
So once again for Ryan Hanigan, a couple of men in scoring position with 2 away. He's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs today, a pair of singles. And he has ripped line drives twice. Red Sox 8, Houston 6. Jackie Bradley and Josh Rutledge on the bases. That's low, and Castro would like a mound visit.
Now, big day for Hanigan today. 3 RBIs, and back in the second inning, a base hit on a fastball inside to drive in 1. And in the third inning, a base hit to drive in 2. As he gets that line drive between third and short. Ball was bobbled out there by Rasmus, but it didn't make any difference. 2 runs were going to score anyway.
He has a chance to add to that right now. Those 3 RBIs. Fires with a 2-0. A strike. The Red Sox have had at least 11 hits on every game of the homestand. A base hit right now would be the 11th today. Fouled back on another good swing. Betts would hit next. Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 on. Tried to wait on a soft curveball and just flicked it foul. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets with the best seats at the lowest prices, all with a 200% guarantee. Treat yourself or someone you love by visiting aceticket.com or by calling 1-800-MY-SEATS. Bradley at third, Rutledge at second for Boston. And a 2-2 home. And a little dribbler up the first base line. It started foul and came back fair. Picked up by White, and he will tag him out to retire the side. That had a lot of spin on it. Red Sox do not score. 8-6 Boston. moment, and on this date in 1951, Ted Williams hit his 300th career home run. It was in his 10th season. Red Sox would lose to the White Sox 9-7 right here at Fenway Park. To the 6th inning. Robbie Ross is back out there. He had a bit of a tough time of it in the 5th as Houston scored 2 runs to pull to within 2, but he gets that first one in there for a strike on Castro. Hembree is still loosening in the bullpen.
Yeah, this might be the last batter for Ross facing the left-hander. They may go to Hembree for Altuve at the top of the lineup.
Castro 0 for 2. He's grounded to first and lined out to second. So John Farrell has to piece it together today after O'Sullivan went 4 1/3. And the 6 runs charged to him on 8 hits. The lights have just come on at Fenway. We started out under lots of bright sunshine, but the clouds have moved in. Off the corner. So the count 3-1. Hembree may be moments away from appearing in this game. 3-1 missed badly, walked him. And here comes John Farrell. So he'll make the change right now. Ross had a tough day, and out he comes. He walks the leadoff man. We'll be back with more in just a moment. The finale of the series, and these Sunday Smiles are brought to you by Hair Cuttery, home of the Smile Back Guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. And a lot of them at Fenway here today. Red Sox got 2 runs in the first, 4 more in the 2nd inning, and 2 more in the 3rd inning. Continuing the trend of scoring early. Now here comes Heath Hembree. Out of the bullpen, 1-0 with an ERA 2.03. He's been very tough in 7 appearances.
7 appearances, 15 hits, and 13 1/3 innings. Only 3 walks for Hembree.
Taking over for Robbie Ross, who had been pitching very well, but today scuffled a bit and just walked the leadoff man. Altuve 1 for 3, singled and scored last time up in the 5th inning when they got a pair. And nobody out for Houston. Fouled away for strike 1. Rick Porcello on the mound at Kansas City tomorrow evening. David Price will go on Tuesday. And on Wednesday afternoon, Stephen Wright. in there for a called strike. Forecast in Kansas City is for a lot of rain on Monday, getting better after that. The nicest day is supposed to be when the knuckleballer right goes on Wednesday, and that's very good news for Steven, because that rain and the wet baseball was very, very tough for him the other day, as it typically is for a knuckleball guy. Here's the 0-2, up and away. But we'll see if we play tomorrow in Kansas City. That forecast is really nasty. Springer on deck. Here comes the 1-2. Punch to Rutledge, has it into second, one on to first, and safe. Tough to turn two with him. One man out.
Yeah, really tough. Altuve, such great speed down the line. Even from the right side of the plate, he makes it awfully difficult to double him up. It looked like it might be a double play. It's in that direction. Rutledge moving toward the bag. He gets Pedroia the ball. He gets rid of the ball quickly, but just too much speed going down the first base line. As Shaw stretches out, and Altuve just hitting the front of that bag prior to Shaw catching the ball.
Springer the batter. He singled last time up, making him 1 for 3 and hitting .265 with 9 home runs.
I would expect Altuve to run in this particular at bat if he gets an opportunity.
He takes off right now. A strike, the throw, the tag, and not in time. That's his 14th stolen base.
You know, he's just been on too many times not to try it, and he gets himself a right-hander out there, so he knows he can get a good jump. He did get a very good jump and picks up his 14th steal of the season. Also, you're only down by 2 runs now, so it becomes more of a running situation. Just do everything, can he?
I think so. You know, the power is what's gotten me this year. He's hit 9 home runs. So Springer trying to pick up his 26th RBI.
Right now, Hembree wants to check on the signs with the catcher Hannigan. Man at second base. He just came into the game. Make sure on the same page what sequence of signs they're going to use with the man in scoring position.
Springer homered off of his UConn teammate Matt Barnes on Friday night on a curveball. Correa on deck, Altuve at second base. Those are really the core Houston Astros as far as the lineup goes. That's a strike. Tough pitch at 94, right on the edge.
That's a very good pitch by Hembree. That's unhittable. All you can do is shake your head if you're a hitter. It's not a good pitch to swing at. You got to kind of give that tip your cap to the pitcher on that one.
So 0-2 on Springer with 1 away. There goes Altuve, and it swung on a miss, struck him out. The throw, and not in time to get him there. Another stolen base as Springer punches out, and there are 2 down.
They can only hold base stealers down for so long, and Altuve knows he can get a good jump against Hembree. He got it at first base, and now he gets it at second base. He's got a little jab step toward third going for him, so he just continues on and gets to third base with 2 outs. And as we mentioned many times, that's important at Fenway because of the short left field.
So 15 and counting for Altuve.
We've talked in this game about infielders moving and backing up throws. Outfielders do the same thing on counts. They move on counts. And on that last pitch, Bradley had moved way to his left with the count to 2 strikes on Springer.
Correa 1 for 3. He's blasted a home run. He went for another one there. 0-1. He wasn't promoted last year to the majors until June. I wonder if he shook himself up there on that swing. I think he did.
It looked like something happened there, Dave. I'm not quite sure what, but he's back in there.
21, it doesn't last for long. Rattled right there to the third baseman, Rutledge. He hoovers it up. High throw, and will not get him as the run comes in to score. That took Shaw up off the bag, and that'll make it 8-7 Red Sox.
And that hurts right there. I mean, that could have been the third out of the inning. Instead, it's going to be an error on Rutledge, and the run scores. Now, that's why it's important for Altuve to steal third if he can, because on a throw like this, I mean, in any other case, it'd be first and third, no run. But with Altuve stealing third base and getting there, he scores on this play.
Correa running hard all the way. So that's a one-run game on the error by Rutledge. The Red Sox have made 3 errors today,
which is unusual for them. Best defensive team in the American League coming into today.
And the batter Rasmus got down to second base in a pair of errors in the second inning. One on O'Sullivan on a ground ball that got by the pitcher. And then Xander Bogaerts picked it up and threw wildly past first base for his first error of the season. He would eventually score. So here's Rasmus again. He's also dropped down a bunt today for a single. And a strike.
It's hard to believe, but it's the first time this year the Red Sox have had more than one error in a game.
So the Astros still very much alive in this one despite 8 Red Sox runs. Here in the 6th inning, it is 8-7. Correa leading off first base.
He is also a threat to run. He's got 5 steals on the season.
Sox in the bottom of the 6th inning have the top of the order due up. Betts, Pedroia, Bogaerts. And the 0-1 pitch. Into left, slicing. Holt on the move to the track. Can't get it. It's off the wall. Here goes Correa pounding around third base. They're going to try and score him. And he will score to tie up the ball game. As Rasmus goes into second, and it's an 8-8 contest. So the Red Sox bullpen was awfully good yesterday. It has struggled today.
It looked like a little cut fastball that time, and very unusual to see Rasmus go to the opposite field like that. He is a dead pull hitter, and he can see where Brock Holt has to go. Now, once the ball gets over his head and short hops the fence, that's when you know the runner's going to score. If that ball comes off clean to Brock Holt, the run probably doesn't score. So it's been small things in this inning. The steal of third base by Altuve, and then the error to allow that run to score. And then the bad hop off the wall over the head of Brock Holt, allowing another run to score.
So now suddenly the go-ahead run is at second base for Houston with 2 down. Tyler White, the batter. He's drawn a couple of walks and struck out today. Brand new game now, 8-8. And the Red Sox today, you have to say, have helped the Astros cause. The 0-1 to White. Now 0-2. White, a .229 hitter with 5 home runs. So another one of the Astros who takes a big swing. Rasmus at second after his RBI double. Softly hit into right field. That'll drop down. Rasmus coming around. Here's the throw cut off, and a run is in to make it 9-8, and the Astros are out in front.
Now, nobody feels worse right now than Rutledge at third base because it was his error that could have ended this inning. And since that time, a double by Rasmus to the opposite field, White going to the opposite field. Now, people may say, why was this ball cut off? Well, the fact is it was not on line with home plate and had to be cut off by Travis Shaw. Here comes a throw by Mookie Betts. It's got to be up that third base line, so Shaw has to cut it off. You can see where Hannigan is. It wasn't close to being on target, so they cut it off.
So the Astros with a 3-run 6th inning so far, and now lead at 9-8. And they have their first lead of the day. And here's Valbuena, who's been a big reason why they have the lead. He's driven in 5 runs, with a 3-run homer and a 2-run double. So this one has taken a big time turn. Long way to go here in the 6th inning. White with the RBI single. That catches the corner for a called strike, says Joe West. This is a career high 5 RBI game for Luis Valbuena. The Red Sox have been averaging 10.5 runs a game on this homestand. They're going to need at least 10 today. Big cut and a miss on the slider, in on the knuckles.
Down and in. That's a little bit of a blind spot for a left-handed hitter. When it gets down and in and off the plate, you see it well, but just swing on top of it.
And Valbuena asking for time. Hembree has thrown a lot of strikes. 17 pitches, 15 strikes. But a couple of those have gotten hit. The Red Sox did not get a long start out of Sean O'Sullivan, just 4 1/3. 1-2 well outside, 2-2. And the bullpen has been less than crisp today. It was outstanding yesterday in the victory. Hembree with a 2-2 home. That's downstairs. So the count is full.
Now the the outfield will drop back a few steps on the 3-2 count with 2 outs because the run will be off at first base, so you want to protect anything that's going in the gap and not allow another run to score.
The Astros have scored 5 times over the last 2 innings. Hembree with a 3-2. White takes off, and a comebacker. Hembree handles that, the underhand flip, and that retires the side. But the Astros surge into the lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 9-8 Houston. communities in which they live and work, and thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a free Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Today we welcome the Jordan Boys and Girls Club to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts, committed to the community. Sox are looking up at Houston now. 9-8 Astros as we go to the last half of the 6th inning. Mookie Betts taking a strike. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. He has scored twice and stolen a base. You would have thought 8 runs, 10 hits would be enough, but it won't be today. High topper to third base. Valbuena guns and dug out. Nice play by White to get the out.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play at first base by White. And, you know, you hope as a first baseman that the bounce is going to be close to your glove. And that's exactly what happened that time with White. Even though the ball bounced, look how close it is to his glove. So that's easy pickings at first base.
1 away. Dustin Pedroia will be in search of his first hit. He's walked fly to right and grounded out to second. Red Sox are facing a pitcher here in Fiers who came on early in relief. Now working out of their bullpen, who actually tossed a no-hitter last year. Last August 21st against the Dodgers. He fired a no-hitter. He's not a hard thrower, but he moves it around well. Hammered. Snagged by Valbuena. He spins, throws, and throws offline. It'll be a base hit. So Dustin Pedroia on with a single. Valbuena almost made a spectacular play.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you kidding me? I mean, ground ball down the third base line. He makes a great play on to get to it, but then really, you know, little chance to get Pedroia as he has to rush it. And throws it well wide of the first base, but he would not get up Dustin anyway, even with a good throw. But a heck of an effort by Valbuena, who's having a big day.
5 RBIs and a home run. Here comes Xander Bogaerts. He already has 3 RBIs and a home run in the 2nd inning. So the Red Sox forced to rally as they're down 9-8, even though they've out hit Houston 11-8. Bogaerts 1 for 3. Shaw up next. Settle in this one. We're a long way from being done, that's for sure. Despite all the runs early. Check swing and it's inside. 2-0. Xander is on pace for well over 200 hits. He already has 53 hits. He was just shy of 200 hits last year. One man out. A strike.
Two balls, 1 strike. Bogaerts a good opposite field hitter. Let's see what Altuve and the shortstop Correa have in mind as far as coverage at second base. 2-1 count. It's always possible you could send the runner.
And to back away, and it's 3-1. Seems like lately Xander's been getting a lot of 3-1 counts, working it his way and then doing damage.
Yeah, and here's where you look for a ball middle in, something you can pull out of the ballpark.
Pedroia with a short lead at first base, and the 3-1 to Bogaerts. And he takes it inside for ball 4. That'll put him on at first and second. Time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's TC. TC, thank you very much. Boy, they haven't lost many. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, will pay a mound visit. Cubs with a 27-8 record. best in Major League Baseball. 2 men aboard, and Travis Shaw about to step up. The Red Sox down a run, 9-8. Tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, Gary Streisky will preview the NBA Draft Lottery, plus highlights from the NBA and NHL playoffs. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Travis on the day is 0 for 3. They're going to get Tony Sipp active in their bullpen.
That may be for Jackie Bradley.
A strike on Travis. His last 9 home games, he's hitting .457 with 11 RBIs. He's just a little bit fond of Fenway Park. Two men on. Hit softly. Altuve will go to first base and gets the certain out there. Pedroia into third, Bogarts into second.
Split-fingered fastball that time to Travis Shaw, and the little ground ball to Altuve, but it does move 2 men in a scoring position with 2 outs for Hanley. There's the splitter going down. He tops it, but it's not hit hard enough to get a double play. Boy, Hanley, I'll tell you, we've showed you the difference in his swing from just yesterday to today as far as the leg kick. And we'll show it to you if we see 2 pitches in this at bat. We'll see what he does in this at bat. He may change it again.
He is 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single. Has an RBI. Trying to tie up this ball game at the very least here. 2 down and ball 1.
Yesterday, the high leg kick, as you can see. Today, no leg kick, just picking his heel off the ground. So an adjustment from day to day for Hanley, and that's pretty drastic. And again, what it does, it keeps that head quiet, keeps the eyes on the baseball a little bit longer. See what it brings to the table on this at bat.
The 1-0 from Fiers makes it 2-0.
Same thing, same approach, and right now Fiers being very careful with first base open.
Castro will head out and discuss it. They get 2 down. You do have a lefty working in the bullpen, Sipp, along with Feldman, the right-hander, who has joined him, and as you mentioned, Jackie Bradley on deck.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're going to see Sipp in the game if Bradley gets to the plate in this inning with 2 outs.
They have a very hot hitter at the plate who's perfect this afternoon. As you said, that base open. They will pitch to him, but you got to believe carefully. Two 2-0 on Hanley. That one high and deep, but foul. I mean, way down that line.
Hanley's driving me nuts. I mean, he goes from no leg kick on one pitch to the next pitch where he goes with a high leg kick. So he's going high leg kick yesterday, no kick today, back to the high leg kick. I give up. It's just Hanley.
It's working, though.
It's working. He's liable to keep it low, down low again.
The 2-1. Shattered bat, but a ground ball right there to Altuve, and Fiers gets out of the inning. 2 men left in scoring position. Still 9-8 Houston. 1986 Red Sox season, their 38th game of '86. The Red Sox crushed the Twins 17-7. 8 of the 9 Sox offensive starters had an RBI, led by Wade Boggs. He drove in 3 and he had 5 hits.
Wow, 5 for 6 for Boggs on the day. Nice.
On to the 7th inning, 9-8. The Astros in front. Hembry still pitching now to Gomez, who showed bunt, took a ball. He's been on base twice with a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. 9 runs, 8 hits, an error for Houston. 8 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors for the Red Sox, which has been certainly out of character. Foul back. Tucker on deck, and Tazawa about to start warming up. And the 1-1 to Gomez. Bunting pretty hard, though. The backhand stab, and he's out.
See, one thing third basemen look for when a guy's going to bunt is his back leg. And if you watch the back leg of Carlos Gomez on this particular bunt attempt, how it drops back, that means he's trying to drop the ball down the third baseline. He misfires. He gets it back to the pitcher, and it turns into an easy out. But watch the back leg go back, and that means he's trying to drop the ball down the third baseline. That's what third basemen try to read. You can see right there Rutledge reading that, but the bunt is not a good when it's back to the pitcher.
One away for Preston Tucker. He's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and a tapper to second base. Former 7th round draft pick. Up the middle. A sliding stab by Rutledge, and he gets him. Have to put that into the book as a 5-3 from the right side of the diamond.
Well, shift pays off again. We've seen it a couple of times today. Once on a Pedroia jump for a line drive, and now a nice play by Rutledge going to his backhand on a slide. Has time to get up. The ball was hit so hard and get the runner at first base in Tucker.
2 down, Castro the batter. Red Sox have only gotten him in order a couple of times today. Trying to do it again here in the 7th. We will pause after this half inning for God Bless America from Fenway on this Sunday afternoon. And Castro takes one up and away. For the Red Sox, it'll be Bradley, Rutledge, and Holt due up in the bottom of the 7th. Astros leading 9-8. Red Sox did have an 8-4 lead in this game. Embry's 1-0 pitch. A strike. On Saturday, the Red Sox enjoyed their first walk-off of the season. Big Papi style. We're going to have to rally again today, as that one is down low.
Well, Joe West this afternoon not giving that low strike. There's been a number of occasions where that pitch has been down at the bottom of the strike zone, not being called a strike.
I think like 3 or 4 of them anyway.
For both sides.
Embry's 2-1 to Castro. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. If he walks him, Altuve will bat again. Last time he was on the bases, he stole second and third and scored.
And that'll probably be against Tazawa if that happens, if he does get up in this inning.
Castro 0 for 2. He's already walked once. 3-1, and he's walked again. Tonight at 6, don't miss the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by AAA. We take a look at the Sox offensive depth with Dave Dombrowski Plus, Gordon Eads provides some historical perspective on David Ortiz's final season. What a season it has been for Big Papi. Will we see him here today? It's supposed to be a day off, but you know how that goes. If needed. Now Altuve hitting .342 with 9 home runs. Runner at first, 2 down. Ball 1.
A little surprised. I thought we'd see Tazzara in this situation against Altuve, as Hembree has thrown quite a few pitches, but I'm not sure if Tazzara's ready yet. Did they throw the motion out that he's ready?
Hembree's 1-0 pitch to Altuve. Downstairs.
And he's clearly going on fumes right now. Dangerous spot to be in. 2-0 to Altuve. Again, calling down to the bullpen.
Yeah, you usually don't look at a little leadoff man as a big power threat, but
You're talking about danger right now.
Big time. Especially with this count. Popped him up. That'll twist foul off into the stands. So 2-1. 9-8 Houston, 7th inning. The sun has long since disappeared. We have had 2 entirely different afternoons in one. We had sunshine, a lot of blue sky early on. That is gone. Tucked behind the clouds. Lights have been on for a while. Fouled back 2-2. Red Sox are about to head for Kansas City and a 3-game showdown with the defending world champion Royals. Red Sox like the way their pitching is stacked up. Porcello, Price, and Wright in that series. Two and 2 on Altuve. With 2 down, a man on. Liner toward right. There's Betts to his right. And the side is retired. We'll keep it here for God Bless America, but stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Plain Ridge Park Casino. TC and Steve Lyons preview the Red Sox next series in Kansas City against those Royals.
The Red Sox Foundation helps make dreams come true for the families of New England. Each afternoon you aid in these life-changing efforts by supporting the 50-50 raffle. Today's winning numbers are now posted on the center field video board. And now, before Josh Cantor leads us in singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game on the Fenway organ, we ask you to please rise. Here to honor our nation with their rendition of God Bless America, please welcome Newton Country Day School's Cantillare.
with Nesson and the Greater Boston Food Bank. Visit your Boston area Lexus dealer in May to donate non-perishable food items. You can also enter for a chance to win a Nesson VIP ballpark experience. For more information, visit Nesson.com/Lexus. Now, Scott Feldman comes out of the bullpen. We've seen him before in the series. On Friday, he went an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 run. That was a home run to Travis Shaw. Fiers went 4 innings, giving up 2 runs, so he did pretty well out of their pen. And here's Jackie. Bradley's gone 1 for 3, extended his hitting streak to 21 in a row with a sharp single to center field in the 5th inning. Red Sox are down a run, 9-8 Houston in the 7th. Ground ball to first, and right there is White. He'll flip it to Feldman for the out. This greater coverage of Boston baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Major League Baseball team leaders in extra base hits, and the Red Sox are number 1 with 153. And looking for some more today, and a man digging in right now. Josh Rutledge has one of them, but doubled. He's also added a single. He's gone 2 for 3. Sox have not scored since the 3rd inning. Rutledge trying to get it going. His throwing error opened the door in the 6th inning for more runs for Houston, so he'd like to do something about that right here. Baltimore leads again, 5-4 on the Tigers in the 7th inning. Been a lot of talk about Brad Ausmus, Tiger manager, being on a hot seat. If they lose again today, that'll be 5 in a row.
I think the surprising thing about Baltimore, we knew the offense was going to be real good, but the pitching 4th in the American League in ERA, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they've won 7 straight. One-two pitch, and a base hit into right field. Hit that one hard. His 3rd hit of the day.
Got to cut fastball on time and takes it to the opposite field. A lot of times you see hitters pull that pitch, but a nice hitting by Rutledge. As he moves it the other way, there you see the little cut right at the end. The inside out swing and the base hit. So as Dave mentioned, 3 for 4 on the afternoon as that ball slices away from Altuve.
Quiet day so far for the man at the bat, Brock Holt. He has gone 0 for 3 with a grounder to first, a strikeout, and a grounder to second. 9-8 Houston, 7th inning, but a man on and a tying run for the Red Sox. Strike 1. Brock with numbers against Feldman, 4 for 8 against Scott Feldman, and a triple. He would not offer. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Brock's got a big gap out there in left center field. Colby Rasmus playing him over toward the line and shallow, as you can see in left field, and slightly shading him the opposite way as Gomez. So there's a lot of room in that gap.
Hannigan on deck. And the 1-1 from the tall, lanky righty. Off the outside.
They're pitching him that way, too. Everything has been away as they play their defense accordingly. Pull in the infield, opposite field in the outfield.
Sip and Nishak are throwing in the bullpen for the Astros, and fouled back. Red Sox have a home run today. There was Xander Bogaerts. The Astros have hit a couple. Valbuena and Correa have gone yard. Plenty of offense in this one. Here comes the 2-2 to Brock Holt. And that's in there for strike 3. And he's been thrown out of the ball game. Brock Holt is trying to indicate to Joe West he wasn't yelling at him. He was angry at himself, but West throws him right out of the ball game.
I don't know what Brock said, but it got him a very quick ejection. And I mean, that seems really quick to me from Joe West.
That's a very fast trigger.
Let's take a look at the pitch. First of all, the pitch is very close. It's pretty nasty. But Holtz yells something at West, and West just throws him out. Now, it looked like it was just 1 or 2 words, but if they weren't the magic words, why throw him out?
Well, I think Brock was protesting that he wasn't indicating those words were at Joe West.
Well, I think they were, Dave. I think they were at Joe West, but the question is, what did he say? And there's some magic words you can't say.
Well, so he is thrown out. Red Sox will need a new left fielder. 2 down for Hannigan, who has driven in 3 runs today. He's gone 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Rutledge on at first base. Red Sox chasing today. They're down 9-8. Brock Holt finishing the day 0 for 4. Not finishing the way he would like.
To me, you know, I think that's a ridiculous ejection. I really do.
I agree with you. I think it was awfully fast. And I also believe there are certain things that you cannot say to an umpire. That's not what I heard. A high fly into right center field. Springer and Gomez converging. And who will make the play? Nobody will. It falls in. Rutledge rounding. And he's going to score as it gets away from Altuve. And that's how the Red Sox tie the ball game. Springer and Gomez looking at each other like, are you going to catch it? Are you going to? Nobody caught it.
No, and to me, it looks like it should have been Springer's ball. Now, I know the center fielder has command in the outfield. But you can see Gomez pull up at the last minute, and they're looking at each other.
Wow.
Wow, that is obviously a huge break for the Red Sox, and Feldman can't believe it that his defense would let him down like that.
What a gift on what should have been the 3rd out.
Yeah, and instead it ends up being a single.
And another RBI for Hannigan, who's driven in 4 runs today. And has himself a 3-hit game. Here's Mookie Betts. So this game is tied up 9-9. The stuff we've seen the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable here at Fenway Park. It really has.
So we're starting over again. And the sun had absolutely nothing to do with that because it has disappeared as of about 2 hours ago.
Now, that was just poor communication between the center fielder and the right fielder. Nobody taking charge of that baseball. They're just looking at each other to see who's going to make the play.
Up and away on Mookie Betts, who's gone 1 for 3 with a single. Like Christmas at Fenway. That was a present. And Feldman with a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball that doesn't snap. Dustin Pedroia on deck. So Rutledge powering home. Running with 2 out. He scores all the way from first base on a fly ball into right center field. It should have been caught for the 3rd out. Goes as an RBI single for Ryan Hannigan. And a 2-2 to Mookie Betts. Line into right center toward the alley. There's nobody there. Onto the track against the wall. Heading for third. Here he comes. The throw home. Will not get him. 3 bases for Betts, and the Red Sox lead it.
You know, many times we talk about how outfielders will come in against a hitter when there's 2 strikes on him. That's exactly what Springer did that time. He did his job, but Betts defeats that by going over his head. Now see where Springer's playing and watch where the ball ends up. He's got no chance from that position. I'm not sure he would have had a chance had he been back 5 feet. So that fly ball, a lazy fly ball to the outfield that drops in, turns into this.
Mookie Betts with a triple and fired up. He drives in the run. And a batter, Dustin Pedroia, and David Ortiz leaning on a bat on his day off. Day off so far. And Pedroia takes the ball. So far today, a walk, a fly to right, a grounder to second, and an infield single. Red Sox with 14 hits. At least one of them very fortunate. And a 2-0. He looks at a strike. It's the 5th time on this homestand that the Red Sox have hit double figures in runs. Got 14 against Oakland, 13 against Oakland, 13 against Oakland, 11 against Houston, and now 10 today against the Astros. Two runs in here to take a 10-9 lead. And punch foul. Tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim Rice, Steve Lyons analyzed the explosive Sox offense during this homestand. Three and 2 on Dustin Pedroia, and he spoils it.
What surprised me a little on this at bat is the fact that Feldman has been winding up with Betts at third base. Now it's not going to happen now, but there was an excellent opportunity early in this at bat for Betts to steal home. Valbuena's way off the line. The pitch is winding up. I mean, the handwriting was there.
Yeah.
Of course, that's all off now, obviously, with 2 strikes on Pedroia.
3-2 got a piece again. Pedroia loves to face the Astros. His career average against Houston is .405. That is #1 all time by any opponent against Houston. And look at what he does against Feldman. He just owns him. You know Feldman knows that. Betts at third, the 3-2. Liner into right field. Springer closing on it, makes the play to retire the side. But Mookie Betts with a triple has just put the Red Sox in the lead in another wild one at Fenway.
He thinks he's made it out. Instead, the ball drops in on a lack of communication between center field and right field. Rutledge scores, and then Betts takes one over Springer's head, way over his head, to put the Red Sox ahead, getting the 10th run of the game. It's amazing. You know, sometimes you got to be lucky. You saw Hannigan make that swing, and his head just dropped. He said, "I didn't get enough of it to get out of the ballpark. It's going to be caught." Instead, Red Sox go ahead.
The way things have been going for this Red Sox team, our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Davinsky was gone, their starter, after just 2 innings. For the Red Sox, so Sullivan only lasted 4 1/3, so it's up to the bullpen from there. Bogarts hit a 3-run homer, and Hannigan has 4 RBIs as he drove in one on that fly ball that should have been caught right center field. So it is on to the 8th inning. Chris Young goes into the game to play left field, and Junichi Tozawa is the new pitcher. Brock Holt, of course, ejected by the home plate umpire, Joe West. And Springer will lead things off here in the 8th inning. 10-9 Boston leading the Astros, and Red Sox trying to win the series 3-1. And he starts him with a curveball for a strike. We saw a lot of stuff yesterday. Apparently we didn't see everything.
No, they had more tricks in the back for today.
And the 0-1.
Good splitter right there from Tozawa. Had a lot of movement on it. The bottom falling out of it. That's one of his better ones. Watch the end action. Boom, right down.
Springer's 1 for 4 with a base hit and a run. He scored one of their 2 runs in the 5th inning. He also got 3 in the 6th. Swung on and missed, and that split ate him alive. Down he goes.
Well, he followed a good one up with a better one. This time keeping the split away, and even more bottom action on this, as Hannigan has to play it out of the dirt and apply the tag.
It's oftentimes how you know it's a dandy of a split when it bounces.
Yeah. You got no chance, too, on a pitch like that. If it starts out knee high and it's a split, I mean, it's going to end up probably in the dirt.
That brings up Correa. He hit a home run in the 3rd inning and scored after reaching on an error in the 6th inning. One man out, and he'll take high, ball 1. 10 runs on 14 hits for the Red Sox. 9 runs on 8 hits for Houston. Wind has been blowing out to right field most of the day. The 1-0. That missed.
You know, a lot of questions on why Holt got the quick ejection, and I can't get into the language, but let's put it this way. If you use the word "you" to an umpire, you're probably going to get thrown out.
I didn't hear that, though. Did you?
I didn't hear anything. I mean, I know he was yelling at him, but I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Right.
But if you direct it at him, you're probably going to get thrown out.
I didn't hear a magic word there, and that one is inside. What you and I both know, you cannot get away with no matter what. And so that's one of the reasons it surprised me it was so fast. There's no hesitation by Joe West there.
That was a real quick hook.
The 3-0 pitch on the corner. And the Tigers have just surged in front of the Orioles in the 8th inning, 6-5. Trying to snap the Orioles win streak, as the Red Sox have gone in front with a pair of runs in the 7th to lead it 10-9 here. Fouled away. Dead & Company will kick off the Plainridge Park Casino Fenway Concert Series this summer on July 15th. Plenty of great seats are still available. Get your tickets now at redsox.com/Dead & Company. Correa 2 for 3 in his career against Tozawa. And the payoff pitch. He got him. Good fastball.
Well, watch the timing on this. We have the same shot from center field. Watch the timing on the pitch and the white wrapper that goes at the same time. Well, we can't see it from that angle. I'm sorry. Whatever angle we had, here it is. Well, here comes the wrapper. Here comes the baseball. Perfect timing, and no contact on the fastball. That's why you see hitters go out and pick him up. I'm not sure that's why he struck out, but I mean that's a distraction you don't need.
Altuve has gone out twice to pick up one of those hot dog wrappers.
Yeah.
So he did his own housekeeping to make sure there was no interference. If there was there. Here's Rasmus and a routine ground ball, but it's Bogarts to dig it, and he flips it on to get it. 1, 2, 3 they go. Taz very sharp there. 10-9 Red Sox. Career of Jason Varitek on Red Sox Report Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Of course, Tech is going into the Red Sox Hall of Fame, along with Tim Wakefield and Larry Lucchino. Pat Neshek coming out of their bullpen. That unusual delivery, a 338 earned run average. We go to the last half of the 8th inning. Sox on top 10-9, trying to make it a 6-1 homestand heading to Kansas City. And Xander Bogaerts takes a strike. And Kimbrel starting to get fired up in the bullpen for the 9th inning. Line shot, and that one is going to be foul, and Xander knew it. He didn't get very far out of the batter's box. Tonight on an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors, Charlie will visit Limerick, Maine, and he goes fishing on Lake Arrowhead. Catch all that and more on Charlie Moore Outdoors tonight at 6:30. Xander on today with a 3-run homer back in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Punches that one off the glove of Neshek. It's going to roll to the grass into no man's land. And Bogaerts is aboard. We'll see how they rule on that.
I think it's going to be a base hit. You know, anything back to the pitcher like that is so difficult to feel because you're such a short distance from the hitter. The reaction time is not great. Yes, he gets the glove there, but I still believe that should be a base hit. Just my opinion.
I'm going to break your heart with this because that was ruled an error.
Oh, come on.
Was?
You got to be kidding.
So no hit for Xander there. You sound heartbroken. You really do.
That's a hit.
Travis Shaw, the hitter, and has to dance to get out of the way.
Look, this is not routine for a pitcher. Let me tell you. I mean, they're 60 feet from home plate. And by the time they react, they get the glove up. That ball's not hit soft. That ball's hit on. That's a base hit.
I'm not even going to mention the exit velocity to you because I know you're not fond of that.
No, I don't care about it.
Foul tipped into the mitt. Travis 0 for 4. He has struck out, flied to left, grounded to first, and grounded to second. So there have been 5 errors combined by these two clubs today. And 2 of them have been charged to the pitcher.
This is like give the pitchers errors day. Is this like a special day?
Popped up. Catcher coming out from behind there. White down the line, and he'll make the play in fair territory. So Xander had to hold at first base. Time now for a look at the road ahead, presented by People's United Bank. And the upcoming trip is a quick one, just 3 games in Kansas City. And then the Red Sox right back home against Terry Francona's Indians, and then the Colorado Rockies after a day off. So a lot of home games in the month of May. Red Sox are taking advantage. They can be 6-1, end the homestand at 6-1 with a victory here today. And leading 10-9 in the 8th. Here's Hanley. He's had a nice day at the plate, 3 for 4. He has now hit safely in 7 straight. Hitting .322. Bogarts with the lead. 0-2. Jackie Bradley on deck. He has a hit today. 1 for 4. So it's a 21 game hitting streak he will bring with him to Kansas City. 0-2, foul back.
See what swing Hanley's brought to the plate with him this time. The high leg kick, the no kick. We don't know from pitch to pitch this afternoon. We know one thing. He's had a good day, 3 for 4. A mini. He's got the mini leg.
That's the in-between.
we sit all 3 today. We got a tweener going right now.
He might have done that just for you. The 0-2 on the inside corner for called strike 3. So he's caught looking.
Tough pitch. Pitch inside. The Ramirez gets a piece of the corner. Tough to hit. You take it. You get the bad news.
2 men out. Jackie Bradley next, 1 for 4 with a single. He has had some homestand. Jackie Bradley with 15 RBIs through the first 6 games of this homestand. That's a strike. Jackie's hitting 6th today. He batted 2nd yesterday in the Red Sox win. When he hits 9th, though, his batting average is .363.
Not bad for a 9 guy, right?
Yeah. Fly to right center field. Coming in now. Springer to his right and puts it away. So we are on to the 9th inning. Red Sox leading 10-9. Time to see Mr. Kimbrel. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's, the only choice for untouchable furniture value. Available in store or at mybobs.com. Kimbrel looking for save number 10. 2.81 ERA. And looking to lock it up here against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Houston Astros. The Red Sox leading 10-9, and a victory would give them the series 3-1. Heading off to face the Royals. We take a look at these rocket arms presented by Quicken Loans. Save leaders over the last 7 years, 234 for Craig Kimbrel. Number 1 in baseball, topping Jonathan Papelbon's 209. Red Sox 3 outs away from another victory. And Tyler White will lead it off here in the 9th inning. He's walked, struck out, walked again, and singled in a run. Been another very interesting and entertaining day of baseball here at Fenway Park. And the Red Sox with some good luck on their side too. This one popped up. Back over the top of the netting. No play for Hannigan. Red Sox once again getting to 10 runs or more in a game for the 5th time in 7 games on this homestand. This offense is rolling. The 0-1 and a breaking ball inside. "14 hits for the Sox today, 8 for Houston." Rick Porcello will be on the hill in Kansas City tomorrow. The 1-1. Tried to hold up, looked like he went, but it was a called strike anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty right there. Breaking ball outside part of the plate. Questioned by White, but it was a good pitch. I think he was questioning whether it was a swing or a call strike.
He was, and it was a called strike. One and two on White. And the fastball outside at 97. Valbuena on deck. He's belted a home run and he's driven in 5 runs. And then Gomez. David Ortiz with a day off. And the Red Sox got 10 runs with David resting. The 2-2. Down into the dirt all the way to the backstop. That's ball 3. So a full count on White. Houston trying to get the tying run aboard here in the top half of the 9th. Kimbrel thinking strikeout. Here's the 3-2. And that's strike 3. One away.
White takes a look back at Joe West, but really not much of a complaint there. That was a pretty good pitch by Kimbrel. A low fastball. That's got to be just above the knees, as you can see on the replay.
Well, we've seen today, if it's a couple inches lower than that, it won't be a strike.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit inconsistent, but that ball was clearly in the strike zone.
Right through the middle. Here's Valbuena. He's been trouble. 3-run homer, 2-run double, 5 RBIs. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Kimbrel in his career. Punched foul for strike 1. It has been a day for the offenses, and the Red Sox just a little bit better. The 0-1 pitch. That drops a little bit low.
That's the pitch you were talking about there, Dave. That one that's just a little bit below the strike zone that at times it's been back and forth today. This one clearly not a strike.
The 1-1 backs him off at 97. Well, you think back to the Hannigan single in the 7th inning that should have been caught by their outfield. Falling between Gomez and Springer, coming with 2 out. Huge play, and then Mookie Betts with a triple just moments after that. That's down low. So that runs the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Gomez on deck. Rutledge will move from third over to the right side. And Bogaerts will move back over to the left side of second base. Valbuena can swing a big bat. Here comes the 3-1. Try to hold up, and he went, according to Joe West. It's a swing and a miss.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much.
Hinch says, what is the umpire at third for? How come you're not appealing to him?
That's what they want. Take a look from the side. Let's take a look and see. Thank you, Joe.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Kimbrel trying to put him away here. The 3-2 pitch. Line drive into left. Young backs up. 2 down. And the Red Sox 1 out away from the victory. And the batter will be Carlos Gomez. On the day, he has walked and been hit by a pitch. He's 0 for 2. Hitless against Kimbrel. This has been a memorable homestand for the Boston Red Sox. And they are 1 out away from going 6-1 on it. Bases empty, 2 down in the 9th. Strike 1. The 0-1 to Gomez. 1 ball and 1 strike. 97 with that fastball.
Outfield a little deeper than it normally would be because you don't want to double in this situation. 1-run lead. 2 outs. You don't want a man at second base, so a little bit deeper than they would be.
The 1-1 pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Red Sox trying to win 3 out of the 4 against the Astros. They're on the doorstep. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Just overpowering right there by Kimbrel. That fastball away from Gomez. Not much you can do with that.
The 2-2 pitch. All filled up now on Gomez. Tucker would hit next if Gomez reaches. Kimbrel trying to shut the door on that right now. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Got him! The Red Sox are rolling. They beat the Astros 10-9. That's a 6-1 homestand. The Red Sox scoring 10 or more runs in 5 of the 7, averaging 10 runs a game throughout the homestand. And now it is on to Kansas City as the Red Sox TC put this one away 10-9. Another wild one at Fenway Park.